Well, chat, you're a bunch of homosexuals, you know that. All three of you here, very much big gay. Anyway, we've got some silly stuff to cover today. A lot of interesting stuff, actually. I wouldn't say it's anything that most of you already haven't seen. Let me just fix up my mic. It's slightly off center, and is the audio better? There we go. That should be much better. Anyway, we've got some silly stuff. Because apparently, Indiana Jones is a good game. I'm still not going to get it because it doesn't really interest me. And apparently Bloodborne is better at 30 FPS, according to this colorful character. So anyway, I'll let you decide what we get started with today. Actually, did I get everything ready? I'm assuming I did, yeah. I've got the Twitter stuff ready. And we've also got a bit more David Jaffe, nothing too special. It might be a pretty short stream for the most part. I didn't get enough time to get ready since I was out doing stuff, so... Oh well, I would rather not waste your time with shit that you've already seen that often this week, so... How about we get started? So first, we got Twitter stuff, like Reforge and how he needs more members and how he does all this and that your goal for getting him this amount of members and money. We get to chat with his wife. Let's gaslight his wife, bro. I'm looking forward to it. So, we'll have a quick gander at some of these clips. They're very short, but this first one just kind of disappointed me. Like, you really need to get more out there if you're going to give people all this fucking money, but...
members. Hilly and I this Friday, we're introducing a new segment on Friday afternoons, Bad Ideas with Hilly, just for members playing through games and having a laugh, and you can make us play certain games or make us play games with you. And if you hit the goal this week, we may try and play Marvel Rivals with you, but the servers might be jacked up. You can make me play Infinity Nikki, and that'll be hilarious. So
also, I just wanted to say that fucking Marvel Rivals is peak as fuck. That game's amazing. It's genuinely fun. Turning your brain off and just throwing yourself at people. Who knew Wolverine was glorified fucking Freddy Fazbear, bro? That shit's funny. Throwing yourself at people.
So help us hit this goal. If you hit the stretch goal, you get a Friday night talk show with my wife for about an hour. That's what we're doing. More content on Fridays for you. Did I miss 100 members?
Bro, is that really it? Like, this bro's getting a lot of money, and he turns around and just says, you get to talk to me wife for an hour. Like, I personally believe you need to do a little bit more than that. Like, you know, let chat play with you, dick around. I mean, I wouldn't, you know, tell chat to pay to play. That would be kind of fucking gay. But in the case of, let's just say a lot of other things, I feel like there's a lot more things you could do with a lot of that money that you're getting. And I don't think Reforge really understands that or doesn't really care to give, you know, a fair shag for actual, let's just say, worthwhile content. But in the case of him doing that, I mean, oh well. I guess we can gaslight his wife into doing shit. That'd be pretty funny. But in the case of that, I feel like it's just a waste of money to give this creature anything. I feel like you could do a lot more. Fucking hell, bro, I'm tired. I want to go to sleep. So, since this, we might actually just start watching the video. I think that'd be much easier, but yeah, there you go. I just wanted to check that. We've got other stuff to check out, so we'll pause that and we'll save it for later. It's a good 3-minute clip, but I also wanted to talk about that. So we'll quickly watch this Gooner's video, as he watched one of mine, so I'll watch one of his. Where's the settings? I can see the ambient light. Either way. There we go.
No, your eyes are not fooling you. This is yet another person defending 30 FPS that we're gonna look
Hell
at
yeah,
today.
30
now,
FPS,
Bloodborne
bro.
is one of my favorite games of all time. It's one of the very few games I actually went out of my way to get the Platinum Trophy for. For those of you non-PlayStation players out there, that basically means just get all the achievements. I love everything
Do you think his wife has better gaming taste than him? Well, I personally have never seen his wife or do anything, but I would assume yes. But then again, he was having an absolute blast looking at fucking Indiana Jones and playing the game, and then his chat told him to hate on the game, so he started doing it. You know, because apparently he might lose members if he doesn't hate on the game, which I don't know how I'd put it, but I think he's a bit of a fucking retard when it comes to that. But maybe his wife would be, you never know. She could be fucking cracked at games. Give me a second, I'm gonna quickly fix something. God damn, my body feels like shit, bro. Oh, me core just feels like ass. But maybe his wife could be better. Like, his wife could, like, fucking be cracked at For Honor, bro. That would be cool. Just imagine getting flexed on by a wife. Bro's, like, meant to be the guy knowing all the games. But anyway, we'll move on.
about the game. Like, I love the combat, how it rewards aggressive play.
Oh, I should mention that I think Bloodborne's kind of mid. I've played through the entire game a couple times now, and it's a good game, but I feel like a lot of people really talk it up past the point of what it is. Now, I don't think Bloodborne's like the worst game known to me. I'm not going to say it's a no shit. No, it's a really fucking good game, but people talk it up way too much as this great Souls game, and it really fucking annoys me when it's okay. Like, if you've played Dark Souls 3, you've pretty much played Bloodborne, because they share a lot of similarities, surprisingly. Some may say that's a little bit of a hot take, but they're not bad. Like, Bloodborne's still a 9 out of 10 game, but it's not this defining game of PlayStation.
Bosses, especially in the DLC, are in my opinion some of the best in the Souls franchise. I love how the weapons have
Soul of
two
Sin is way
forms,
better. Don't be
basically
like
transforming. I love the atmosphere and style of the game, and I think it has the best DLC out of the entire Souls franchise, and yes, I think it's better than Shadow of the Erdtree. But there's one thing I don't.
Well, I like Shadow of the Erdtree, but I don't think it's the best DLC. I still think that's a contender for fucking Dark Souls 1's DLC, or Ring City. Ring City's always been my favorite DLC. Ring City's my fucking turn on, bro. I see Ring City, it's like, Gale, give it to me, big boy. You know, Harmon's my Gale. I'll always forever miss that big bastard.
Love about Bloodborne, and that is the frame rate. This game is locked to 30 FPS no matter what platform you play it on, be it either PS4 or PS5.
Hey, it's not locked at 30 FPS on PC, thank you very much. And if you jailbreak one of your PlayStations, you can get it running at a higher FPS, I'll have you know. I did it, I did jailbreak it, but I never did the actual patch to make it higher FPS. But on PC, on the other hand, now I made that go up really high in FPS. Around a good 200 FPS I was able to squeeze out of it.
So, a lot of people have been asking for a 6...
Hey. Fuck out of here. Harmon's mine. Harmon's mine. He's my big fucking chubby chaser. He's mine, bro. Don't ever talk about my boy wife like that. I'll fucking kill myself. I'll kill you. He's mine. I'll fight you for him. I'll even play rock, paper, scissors.
60 FPS patch, because the PS5 could easily do it. I mean, this is a title from 2015. It is coming up on 10 years old now. A lot of other people are asking for a remaster, because if Sony's gonna go out of their way to remaster games like The Last of Us 2, that's like 3 years old at the time that they remaster it. If they're gonna remaster games like Horizon, that already looks great and runs great, the least they could do is remaster Bloodborne, a game that everyone wants remastered. Well, according to the individual that we're gonna be taking a look at today, Bloodborne should not be remastered and is better.
Let you have him on Sundays? You're gonna have to fight me for it, big man. I can't let you have him. He's all mine. He's like a midnight snack, bro. I just gotta fucking devour his flesh. You can't just sit there and take Harmon from me. I'll kill myself.
Better at 30 FPS.
Women.
I know. Just hear me out.
Trust me, the only reason I'm gonna be hearing you out is because my Discord wants me to make a video on this. I would never subject myself to this torture if it weren't for that.
So yeah.
I won't lie, I should go gaslight him on his Discord server to do stupid shit. I feel like I could get away with it. We could get him to respond to Jim Starling. Actually, no, I think he's already done that. I think that'd be pretty funny. Actually, maybe we could get him to respond to... Who was that fucking guy that I was looking at the other day that was really stupid? Oh, I forgot his name. I found him in my feed after a while. That'd actually been a pretty good video topic, but it isn't, like, PlayStation related. It's just some retard that thinks new gaming is, like, really peak.
Yeah, it's a masterpiece. And yet, without fail, every time I stream the game, there's at least one person who comes in and says,
I don't know about this game. I'll probably just wait till they release it at 60 FPS.
And
wait,
right.
It's a terrible opinion to wait for a game to be at the industry standard 60 FPS before playing it?
I wouldn't say... no, that is the industry standard. It's just that most developers aren't willing to push it above 30 these days for some reason, and just prefer fidelity over everything else. It's really annoying. Andy Pan's video next. Damn right, after I'm done with this stream, I'll start working on it, and then I'll probably release it on Thursday, so it'll be around Wednesday for most of the world. So, because I've got a couple of stuff that I need to cover in, like Dreamcast Guy, I think a bit of Reforge, but mainly the Andy Pants stuff will be not really the main part of the video, as it's still going to be labeled as a PlayStation fanboy video, but I still want to put him in there as a bit of Xbox fanboy salt, as you know yourself, he's an Xbox fanboy. Well, grifter. And honestly, I want to call out this guy for just being an absolute shit grifter and not actually doing his job as a content creator to actually inform people with good information. You know, he's the bare minimum to be called a content creator, even worse than me. And preferably, I would like to call him out. And plus, he did steal my thumbnails, and, you know, he took down... Do you be fucking with me? You gonna fucking... I wanna watch that bastard suffer. Hopefully he'll comment on the video when he sees that he's been called out. Who knows, maybe he won't, maybe he will. If not, I'd love to get into, like, a little shit-talking match with him. And maybe, just maybe, debate him. That would be funny as fuck. Yeah, he was an Xbox fanboy. I mean, he technically still... Well, depends on the grift, but kinda is.
This is news to me. At the end of the day, these games have to be paid for, and if the frame rate isn't up to someone's standard, then they don't have to buy the game. Like, how's that a terrible opinion? I don't...
Agreed. If you believe a game isn't worth your money because of a certain issue or aspect that it has, absolutely. You don't need to buy it. You don't need to put your money down on it. Bro, I would fucking hope that Andy Pants takes me up on a fucking debate. I mean, I wouldn't say that I'll be the best, but I'd still like to fucking munch on him a little bit. You know, I start losing and get real fucking angry, you know. Use my God-given right as a professional shit talker. You know, those communication bans didn't do nothing to stop me from becoming the greatest shit talker in For Honor. I'll use my amazing charisma skill, and I'll fucking use my, I don't know where I'm going with it, but pretty much I'll fucking wrap my tongue around his cock and have a good time with him. Oh, me fucking body hurts, bro. I can feel me core giving in. I shouldn't have done sprinting. Ooh. Anyway, but I don't know what else to say on the Andy Pan stuff. It's just gonna happen when it's gonna happen, and the video will be out soon, so finally get your dream come true.
Get it, dude. Like, this ain't a fucking charity where they're giving out games for free. Like, if that were the case, then okay, you can be a little bit more critical of people complaining about the frame rate, but people are expected to pay for these games. And if someone doesn't want to buy a game because of lackluster performance, that is completely valid. It's why I did...
Oh, I should mention this. When it comes to Bloodborne in Australia, it turns out that you literally can't buy it in most places. Because I went to me local EB Games and a couple other places like JB Hi-Fi and all that to see if they actually own a copy of Bloodborne in my area, and they wanted me to fucking travel like a good 2 hours away to other stores and places to go get copies of Bloodborne. As personally, I wanted to go out of my way to dump the files on my PC, but I just couldn't be fucking, like, you know, I'm just gonna pirate it. I'm gonna go get it my old-fashioned way, and hold on to it. But this game is hella desired for, which is crazy, and I don't think a lot of people are willing to sit there and just play it on 30 FPS. Especially with them going out of their way and giving patches, updates, and remasters to a lot of Sony's games, you would expect them to at least give you the common decency of a 60 FPS patch, since the community does. They've already had the opportunity to do it. But for some reason, Sony won't do it, because, you know, fuck you in particular, Bloodborne.
Didn't buy Black Myth Wukong.
My heart breaks, because everyone deserves to experience this. Really though, the desire for Bloodborne running at double its frame rate has turned into something of a phenomenon in the gaming community. I mean, just a couple weeks ago, the one and only Ben Starr said this, completely unprompted, at the Golden Joystick Awards.
Absolutely criminal that we don't have an official version of Bloodborne running at 60 frames per second.
And...
well, he's right. It is criminal, because Bloodborne's such a wildly successful game. And people want to see it preserved and made even better through a higher frame rate, updated visuals, and honestly, if you want to, I feel like a remaster would never actually become comparable to what we've got on PC right now. It's crazy what the fuck people have done to it. And I wait patiently for the day that people will actually get that fucking patch for their PlayStation, and then they get to play the Bloodborne at 60 to 120, maybe even higher, because the game, if they don't do a remaster, could go even higher. Hey, I'll have you know, my videos are trash. They're fucking slop, mate.
honestly, right now, in this very moment, we're closer to a Bloodborne remaster than we've ever been. Modders have been emulating it on PC with mild to moderate success.
Literally me.
Lance McDonald's 60 FPS mod is a real, tangible thing on jailbroken PlayStations. Not that I'd, know anything about that.
So, by her own...
Wait a minute. If you know about those... Wait a minute. If it's not an issue to be at 30 FPS, then why jailbreak your console and have all this stuff and features that allow you to mod the frame rate and fidelity of games? Something doesn't seem right here. They're your trash too? What are you doing stealing my videos? I don't appreciate that. They're my slop. Stay away from them, bro.
Admission here, she has played Bloodborne at 60 FPS, but yet still prefers 30? Someone who played through...
Yo, that fucking crayon marine looks fucking peak. Give that back, bro. How have I been? Oh, I mean, it could have been better today. Body's in complete pain after going to the gym and sprinting and doing circuits for a day or two, so... I can feel it all throughout my core, my back, and my legs. The arms are fine still, but I'm sure I'm going to feel it tomorrow. The body just feels like shit. So, I'll say it's been pretty good. I'm going to have big muscles tomorrow, and you won't believe me.
Through the game at 60 FPS should realize how much smoother it is and how much faster your inputs go through due to the reduced input.
Oh my fucking god, it's Black Cobra. Ooh. Also, fuck you, Cobra. You asshole. Fucking... making me lean forward in my chair, you fucking goont. You know exactly what I'm on about.
Input lag of a higher frame rate. And faster inputs and less input lag is very important for a game like Bloodborne that is a very fast-paced action game. Now, you could bring up the fact, well, you can play it on PC through an emulator. But that's not really the point. As she pointed out, she played it on a jailbroken PS4, which means the game can handle 60 FPS. So why don't they make it so you can play the game at 30 or 60 by adding an optional performance mode to the game?
I mean, fuck, they really should, bro. Because if the PS4 can do it, especially when it's jailbroken, and what stops them from updating it to be even higher and stuff like the PS5, right, as an example? Imagine that running at like 200 FPS, especially if they don't do any changes to it, fidelity-wise, or background stuff, features and all that. They could fucking have it running great. That could be like one of the PlayStation games that runs above 200 FPS. If they choose not to make a remaster. Like, if you're able to go out there and get that shit up to 60 FPS and even higher on a fucking PlayStation, bro, you'd be winning. That would be cool. But no, they only let us do it on PC and jailbroken consoles. Such a simple patch could go such a long way with people. That would make the experience of Bloodborne so much better for those who really want to play it again and again and again and again. Right, it's a Souls game, it's meant to be replayable. If they did that again, we would be absolutely fucking winning. But no, they make us suffer. We'll never get what we want.
That way, people like her could play the game at 30 if they prefer that, for whatever fucking reason, and the rest of us can play at 60.
They're not people. They're lizards, bro. They're like an absolute schizo group of people that shouldn't be playing video games. I fucking hate the logic that people believe 30 FPS is more cinematic. Oh, I'm thinking of all the retard arguments now. Like, who the fuck sits here and says that, bro? 60 FPS feels so much better. And if you're able to get the fidelity just right, you won't really notice much of a difference. People fucking hurt my brain.
Or obviously, even better yet, why don't they just remaster it? Sony obviously loves remasters and they're willing to remaster pretty much anything, but not the game everyone's asking for? I mean, hell, every time there's a Sony showcase, Bloodborne trends on Twitter. Why?
It's fucking crazy, bro, that they will remaster games that have come out for less than a year. Like, what was it with fucking Last of Us 2, which was only out for about 2 years, or wasn't out for that long, and really didn't need a remaster of any kind, or really any visual change. And then you turn around, and then people are begging for Bloodborne. You have a literal money printing machine right there in your fingertips, and you refuse to do anything with it. It's crazy that people do that, bro. How the fuck can you run a business and not look at the most obvious thing known to man to make money? You could release that patch. You could release a slightly updated version for the PS5 Pro and the PS5, right? And then you could turn around and make a remake of it and make double the money if you really wanted to. That would be amazing.
Is Sony just throwing this opportunity to make easy money away?
But amidst everyone, myself included, asking whether we could achieve 60 FPS, no one stopped to consider whether we should. I'm not afraid to say it. I think Bloodborne is at its best at its native 30 FPS. It's
Beg to differ from my experience, absolutely not. I switched that thing straight to a high FPS, and if I played that at 30, I would rather kill myself. The only exception is Dark Souls 1.0. Because I'm forced to play that at 30 FPS. I don't get a choice. I really wish I could play it higher, but there are no patches on Xenia to actually fix that issue. And plus, the game also speeds up when you turn it up to a high FPS, so it's not really possible either.
simply doesn't need a 60 frame per second remaster.
60 FPS is objectively better than 30 FPS. Also, while you might not think the game needs 60 FPS, there's obviously a ton of people out there that do think the game needs 60.
Yes, sir. That's literally me. Pick me. I'm in the crowd. Yes. 60 FPS. 120. 240. 360. 500 FPS. You know, I'm one of those weird freaks with a $2,000 fucking dollar monitor.
60 FPS, otherwise they wouldn't be begging for a patch or a remaster. People wouldn't be going through the lengths to jailbreak their PlayStations and play the game on emulators on PC if it didn't need a 60 FPS patch.
Here's
Damn
why.
right.
But first, let's talk frame rate, because what even is 30 FPS?
I'll answer that question. It's dog.
You need to explain what FPS is. Please, I'm begging you. I hate this part of the fucking videos when people have to explain the basic concepts for the retards that may not know it. I want to die. Please don't explain what FPS is. You don't need to. Everyone's heard of the word and knows what it does. More equals funny.
Shit.
Well, when you see a video like this one, it's not technically a moving picture. It's 30 still images all jammed into 1 second. And our brains stitch them together to give the illusion that they're moving. Take a game in 60 FPS and you're jamming 60 frames into that same singular second.
You can kind of tell that the 60 FPS is better. That's hopefully if the YouTube compression of both this guy's video and her video is... yeah, okay, so it's 60 FPS, so if we turn that up as well... There we go. So it's an actual 60 FPS video. So you can actually see the difference.
What ends up happening is, with more frames to work with per second, our brains can create a smoother image.
You also forgot to mention...
Oh god, the 30 FPS looks like fucking shit, bro. It looks... Oh, ew.
that when you play in 60 FPS instead of 30, your inputs register twice as fast. Usually the input latency is 33 milliseconds when you play on 30 FPS and it's around 16 when you play at 60 FPS. Why the fuck would you want to play with more input latency in a fast-paced game? I don't get it. Especially in a game that's meant to be challenging like Bloodborne.
That neuroscience thing where our brains turn this into this, it has a name. It's called the phi phenomenon. And scientists have tried to study it further, but studying perception is notoriously difficult. Like, how do they know the blue that I see is the same blue that you see? How do we know that both of our human eyes both see at 60 frames per second?
You can train your eye to see higher FPSs. That's how you can tell the difference between 30 and 60 FPS. Also 120 to 240. Your eye gets used to staring at stuff like that and noticing the difference in speed. I agree with you, Black Cobra. I don't really know how people can actually fucking sit there and play this at like 30 FPS. Like, you will... how can I word it? You will actually notice the difference once you've actually experienced 60 FPS. I had a friend recently that went around defending 30 FPS until we actually played 60 to 120 FPS. He's like, damn, I really am fucking retarded. And then he turns around and is like, you know what? You were right. I can't go back to 30 FPS. I like seeing more of the game in a more smoother light. You love playing D2 at 30 FPS? Oh, poor thing. You can just really feel the immersion. I agree. Very much. Very immersive at 30 FPS, you know. The most greatest excuse I've ever heard, ever given by man. Fuck, I'm thirsty. I want water. I'll be right back. I'll let the video play. Actually, no, that's a good way to get a copyright strike. Let's not do that. You know, I don't want to do a fucking what's his name and, you know, let the video play. Bit of a retard. Give me a second. I'm fucking angry, bro.
Remember this meme? It dates all the way back to 1999. So what's the truth? Well, we really don't know. Some research says the human eye sees something around 70 FPS, but other research says closer to 40. And even then, the idea of a biological FPS is really hard to study, and it's really not...
Yeah, XQC moment, bro. Turn the stream on, just go fuck off for a moment. Oh... I mean, what would your biological FPS be? I've heard that the human eye can only pick up 24 FPS, but then how the fuck can we observe like 120 FPS? How the fuck can you tell the difference if that's possible? Like, I don't get it. Like, am I missing a crucial, holy shit, piece of information when people talk about how FPS is determined when the human eye can see it, which is very curious. Because if you can actually observe the 60 FPS and tell the difference between it, why can the human eye only technically view and observe around 24 of those FPS? But we can still tell the difference. So it's either the human eye can actually get used to it and actually observe higher FPS. If you're some filthy creature like me that sits at like a good 700 FPS on fucking War Thunder, can I observe that? I would hope so. That would be cool.
comparable to an FPS on a computer monitor. But those sort of ballpark estimates, they do make sense with how we perceive varying kinds of media. Like movies, for instance, are shown at just 24 frames per second.
I absolutely hate this argument that movies are at 24 FPS, so 30 FPS is completely fine. You don't interact with the movie. With a movie, you don't have to worry about things like input lag,
you know, you're not responding to stuff in the fucking movie. You're not sitting there with a fucking controller and cocking your hand and be like, oh, hell yeah, mate, I gotta fucking beat up Optimus Prime, bro, because I'm watching a Transformers movie. Hell yeah. Bro, Optimus Prime won't know what's about to hit him when I fucking turkey slap that old bastard.
choppiness when moving the camera due to low frame rates. You're not going to be having to have quick reaction speeds. While a movie might be fine at 24 FPS, go play a first-person shooter at 24 FPS. It is absolute fucking misery, and this is coming from someone who's tried it. Plus, most cutscenes in a lot of games are actually 30 to 24 FPS anyway.
So yeah, frame rate in movies and TV definitely affects how we perceive what's on screen. But what about video games? I'd argue the same is true. And sure, From Software certainly didn't intend to put Bloodborne at 30 FPS just to make it more cinematic and dreamlike. The processors in that base PS4 and the X-Bone were, not great. But if you watch movies like I do, the effect is still there, that cinematic veil. And really, out of all of From Software's titles, Bloodborne would be the one to run at 30 instead of 60. It's weirder, grittier, and quite literally more dreamlike than something more classically fantasy like Dark Souls.
If anything, Bloodborne is the one game that should run at 60 due to how fast-paced.
Hey chat, doesn't fucking Dark Souls Remastered run at like 60 FPS, if I'm correct? Or is it, I think, no, you can't change the FPS, can't you? I don't think you can switch it to 120. But if I remember correctly, it is a 60 FPS game, and I would much prefer that over what we got with Dark Souls 1's original version.
It is requiring faster inputs, whereas a game like Dark Souls has slower attacks and easier to dodge combos. But in my opinion, no game should be locked to 30 FPS on current hardware, because the standard is past that.
Bro, I swear, people always try to tell me what the fucking hardest Souls game is, right? And then I play the 1.0 version of Dark Souls 1, and it's like, damn, I can see why people used to say Dark Souls 1 was the most hardest Souls game. That shit makes every other game look like a fucking cakewalk. Imagine getting only 1,500 souls for killing the fucking gargoyles, and then losing that if you die. And you can't actually recover stuff in certain parts of the map because it was broken on launch. You got barely anything, but the dragon head glitch was pretty funny, where you could turn the dragon head into free souls, and it would instantly just, as long as you activate the ability, it would give you free souls. That shit was cool. I'm gonna play more of that after this, probably.
Now. And when the standard is 60 FPS and you're used to playing 60 FPS games all the time, it's very hard to go back to 30. And a lot of games nowadays, even on consoles, especially like multiplayer games like COD, run at 120 FPS. So to go from 120 to 30 FPS, your game is 75% less responsive. There's no reason games shouldn't be running at 60 FPS with today's hardware.
Specialize.
But it's got me thinking about something bigger. Why are we conditioned to think 60 FPS is the best? Is it actually the best? Should every single game be cramming?
Well, not technically true. Higher FPS will always be better, so there's technically something higher than 60, so you could just say whatever's higher than 60 and whatever's higher than that number continuously going on.
Those 60 frames into every single second?
Yes, 100%. There is no excuse for games to be running at 30 FPS in the big ol' 2024.
I mean, there's a...
Damn right, that includes also new PC games as well, because I'm sick of fucking games like Stalker 2, Indiana Jones, and many other games requiring some of the most craziest PCs to fucking just at least get, roughly 30 to 40 FPS. I'm still sad that Stalker 2 only gives me about 60 FPS. I'm crying every time I play that game. But I haven't played in a bit now, so maybe, just maybe in a couple of months they'll fix that issue.
Decently large handful of games that run better at 30 FPS than 60.
I don't even know how to respond to this. How can it run better at a lower frame rate rather than a higher frame rate. When somebody explains that a game runs badly, they're talking about a low frame rate, or stutters, or frame drops. But apparently having a lower frame rate is good? If that's the case, then how come people on PC don't cap their frame rate to 30? I've read a study...
Yeah, I wonder why, bro. It's because it's not good. 60 FPS, 120... 240 would be the preferable FPS if your monitor can run that, which the monitor that I have can do that, so preferably that's the FPS you would want. Or just sit around 180, because that's roughly good enough, if you can't get the right performance.
Somewhere that said that 75% of people on PlayStation play in performance mode, or the 60 FPS mode. If what you're saying is true, then how come people aren't playing on the 30 FPS mode? Better yet, why do professional players on games always lower their graphics settings to get high frame rates?
Yep, that's me. I won't disagree. That's what I do in War Thunder when I want to jump into the competitive bracket. I turn my FPS to the highest point possible, which sits around, on average, around 400, 700, straight to 1,000, depending on what's on the screen. And usually I will turn enemy detail to the highest, so for example, tanks and all that, so I can easily see them. Turn off grass and foliage, and just keep my thermals on. Because that is the easiest way to play competitive War Thunder whenever they open up their competitive brackets again for your squadrons. Ooh, it's great. And everyone else does that. There are people that do this in Siege, there are people that do that in probably fucking Fortnite and whatever other game that, you know, you want to have a better advantage at less latency.
Speaking of large handfuls. Oh, sorry.
You will never understand the burden of trying to fit through tight spaces with these pegs.
I mean, Final Fantasy XVI, in which Ben Starr plays the lead, might I add, runs a heck of a lot better at 30 than 60, as evidenced by the recent PC release this year. Also, the beautifully cinematic Red Dead Redemption 2 is locked at 30 frames per second on console, and some gamers even say that the horse feels floaty and weird at 60 frames.
Yeah, as someone...
The horse was fucking annoying to deal with, I can assure you. I fucking hated running around in Red Dead Online, and then your horse takes the wheel and crashes into a tree, so you have to beat the shit out of the goddamn filthy animal to make sure it doesn't do it again. And all those people that are going out there saying that that's an issue are, I would argue, a bit retarded as well. Like, if you're going out there, I've played, Red Dead on 60 FPS myself. It's not that much different from the 31. It really depends on how your control scheme is, so maybe it could be a bit floatier. But for the most part, I played it at whatever FPS it was allotted to on PC. I never changed it. I never really cared. I'm assuming it was 60. And it wasn't that much of an issue. Area played like Red Dead on console, just with mouse and keyboard. And when it comes to a lot of these other games, I don't get why people have to put this emphasis on, like, cinematic 30 FPS. I don't think no one wants 30 FPS and cinematics. We want 60 and that. That would be much better.
Who played Red Dead Redemption 2 on PC at ultra settings, 100 plus FPS, that shit does not feel cinematic at 30, it just feels like ass. I find nothing cinematic about having an increased amount of input latency and choppy movement of the camera.
And I'm not even gonna get into the weirdness that is Skyrim at a high frame rate. For games that can run at both or high...
What do you mean Skyrim at a high frame rate? I run that shit at a plus 200 fucking something FPS on PC when I've got, like, 1.2 terabytes of mods for the game? What do you mean? There's a mod that fixes the FPS issues for Skyrim, so the engine isn't reliant on 30 FPS to make physics and mechanics work. They separated the in-game tick speed of the FPS to actually be higher without affecting any of the other stuff. That's part of, I think, Utility Engines Plus, I think? No, it could be SKSE now. I forgot which mod was it, but it was one of the utility mods you download straight away. And it gives you that benefit of higher FPS, and it will instantly unlock it as well. And on top of getting all the bug fixes and engine fixes to squeeze out like an extra 20 FPS unmodded.
Higher. We're often faced with choosing a frame rate based on stability. And I think most of us would agree that a stable 30 is way better than an unstable 60.
Yeah, no. As someone who played through Space Marine 2 at an unstable 60, that shit is way better than 30 FPS. The frame rate usually stayed in the 50s and sometimes dropped into the 40s, but I'd take it over 30 FPS any day. Why? Because my inputs register faster. It allows me to play better. When I move my camera around, it's less choppy. Sure, the 30 FPS mode might feel more like a movie, but it also feels like utter shit, so who cares?
And that's one frame-related criticism that I'm actually on board with regards to Bloodborne. Sometimes it dips below 30, and that's not very chill.
Wait, hold on a minute. I thought 24 FPS is cinematic, so if the frame rate is dropping below 30 and getting...
Yeah, I fucking wish it did, bro. Skyrim blows up me PC. That would be cool. Just imagine that. I wouldn't have to play Skyrim anymore. Oh well. The modding will never end. The suffering of playing Skyrim and further perfecting your mod list can never end. What if it explodes? Oh well, I'll just get a new PC. That PC, it didn't mean much.
Closer to 24, isn't that better by your own logic? Better yet, why don't they just cap the frame rate to 24? As you pointed out, movies run at 24 FPS, so wouldn't it be fine for games? The answer is no, because games and movies are different. Games are not meant to be movies, and movies are not meant to be games.
In reality, I think the best case scenario if we do get a remaster is to just let the PC version do what PC versions do best. Be ultimately customizable. PC gaming has always been about choice. And if your choice is to play it at 60, maybe my choice is to play it at 30. Everybody wins.
I mean, why shouldn't the consoles get 60 FPS as well? A lot of console games have the choice between 30 and 60 FPS. Why not have the toggle?
And sometimes it'll make you better at a game. Like for first-person shooters and fighting games with their quick camera movements and need for precise inputs.
A game that requires precise inputs. You mean like Bloodborne? At the end of the day, if I have the
He's right. I don't have much to say. He says it for me. He calls her out because she isn't realizing what she's saying. Come on, if you're gonna make a video like this about defending 30 FPS, at least realize you're going to say something stupid like that. It would really save you a lot of time, but then again, you probably didn't really notice it, so I can't give you too much shit.
Option to have a better looking game or a better playing game, I'm picking a better playing game every single time. Because at the end of the day, I'm here to play video games, not watch them.
It's also an important consideration for accessibility and motion sickness. But in a Soulsborne title, frame rate isn't...
The fuck do you mean? Who the fuck gets motion sick from playing fucking 120 FPS? If that's really bad, just turn off the blur and all that actually causes that. FPS won't cause that unless you have like a really high fucking sensitivity. I mean, some games really do force your sensitivity to be incredibly high as soon as you boot up the game for the first time. I've had shooters like that, which are fucking annoying. But when it comes to a lot of these games, it's not an FPS issue, it's the motion blur issue that people have an issue with.
What's gonna help you get good?
That's partially true. If you're shit at 30 FPS, you're probably gonna be shit at 60 as well. However, when you play at 60 FPS, you're allowed to play to your full potential. You're not being hindered by a bad frame rate.
Should every game run at 60 FPS?
Yes.
At least at a minimum.
Yes, games targeted 60 FPS back on the PS2. There's no excuse for the PlayStation 5, Series X, or even a mid-range GPU to not be able to hit 60 FPS. Now, back in the day on the Xbox 360, it was more excusable to have a 30 FPS game, because back in the day, you saw massive graphical leaps from console to console. But we're not really seeing that anymore, so why not just focus on having a smooth-running game?
I think a lot of...
It's honestly crazy that we've gotten to the point where there's no actual enhancements in fidelity, and then we turn around and get absolute dogshit FPS and more requirements. That shit is honestly annoying. Like, you really just sit there and you spend all this money on a new PC or a new console, and it's like, huh. All I'm getting is slightly graphically increased games, either whether or not they're remasters or new additions to a franchise. And they may not even look that much better from their previous games. Like, if you go from, like Gears 4 to Gears 5, you don't really notice much of a difference. You go from Halo 5 to Halo Infinite, you don't really see much of a difference besides art style. That's it. But that's not something to do with fidelity, that's more of an art change. And it makes you really wonder, why do we even bother making all this far more superior equipment for both PC and console if it's just going to look like the same game at the end of the day? Why not focus more on a unique art style that brings out what was these previous games in either franchises, or take the franchise somewhere new, or just stick what you've already got? It would make the life a lot easier. Motion blur is the worst addition to modern gaming as a whole. I forgot, I didn't mean to add modern, my bad. But gaming as a whole, yeah, I mean, I personally don't get affected by it, and I usually turn it off regardless if I do or don't, but most of the times I usually just check the settings quick to turn off DLSS, FSR, frame gen, or anything that, is bullshit and shouldn't really be there as a standard on feature. And then pretty much I run through the games, but maybe it really depends on the game by game. I don't really get sick by motion blur, so it's not like the worst thing that ever happened.
A lot of folks would say yes, but I have this fear in the back of my head that all video games are starting to look and feel the same. Like the gaming equivalent to Instagram face, where celebs and influencers are all starting to look the same, in part because their plastic surgery is mimicking the filters on social media. Mimicking this fake popular beauty standard. And this fear of...
Maybe developers should stop doing the same generic fucking graphical fidelity increase and, we need more pixels, we need more of that, and, do the exact same art style as everyone else, ultra realism. They should just go make a unique game that stands out. Look at Astrobot. The game's light, colorful, and probably won't need that much shit to make it perform at a high FPS because it doesn't require that much, it's not doing much. Like, it would be really cool. There's so many other games. Look at fucking Marvel Rivals. I don't think that requires much to play, and that game's fucking peak. I love that game. That game's amazing. It's like one of the only PvP games that I've played recently. Like, I could see myself playing this for a couple of years. I'm not a big PvP fan anymore, and that game's fucking peak.
Gaming Instagram face, it's not unfounded. Bloober released their Silent Hill 2 remake this year, which I adored, by the way, but it just looks like so many games of this era. Third person, over-the-shoulder camera angle, slightly offset with this Resident Evil and or Last of Us style combat. That's obviously a huge departure from the original PS2 game back in 2001.
Okay, but my question is, what does this have to do with the video subject of Bloodborne not being at 60 FPS and being better at 30?
Anyway, if we push for a Bloodborne 60 FPS remaster just because that's what games should look like, and that's what's popular and makes the studio's money.
It's what games should be and perform as a standard. This has been established many times, but it needs to be said again.
We tread a dark path, I fear.
How is that a dark path? You don't have to play the remaster, you can still play the original Bloodborne. How is giving the consumer what they want going down a dark path? The Demon's Souls remake runs at 60 FPS in performance mode, and it felt so much better than the game on the PS3 that ran at 30.
Cause if they release a Bloodborne PC port remaster, remake, sequel, whatever, will I be over the moon? Absolutely. But do I also worry someone might take a crack at this and absolutely bungle it? Mangle my beautiful boy? Yeah.
I mean, they're not going to ruin it. The community's already done it. It's mainly if they remake or remaster the game, you need to hope they stay true to the original art style, which, in the case of fucking Demon's Souls, they didn't really stay true to it for the most part. They changed a lot of the models and enemy design, which kind of gave off a different story compared to the original Demon's Souls. I'm still playing through the original Demon's Souls, I haven't finished it yet. But then, once they release the remake of it, I'll play that, and then I can easily tell you the differences, but mainly it's model design and I would say lighting and art style for the most part, but the art style isn't too much of a big departure that much. But in the case of a lot of other games, it takes away a lot. But I don't think they're going to sit there and fuck over Bloodborne by that. People at least have the common decency to keep the game looking like it originally did when it comes to art style. So I don't think that's really much of a big concern. It really depends on who they've got doing it, though.
I mean, how would they exactly mangle it? All they have to do is increase the graphical fidelity and provide a better frame rate. Or in the case of the PC port, they can't mess anything up, they just port it to PC. And boom, free money.
Of course, the Demon's Souls remake comes to mind here. Again, a totally kick-ass remake, but a lot of that original artistic intent was kind of lost in the shuffle when Bluepoint remade it.
Yeah, but that has absolutely nothing to do with the game.
And when it comes to PC, the community will fix all those inaccuracies and small changes that they made that takes away from the world itself. And then we will have a true remake of Demon's Souls.
Game's frame rate because the game offers a 30 FPS mode. I would love to see a Bloodborne remake the same way that Demon's Souls was remade. Just polish up the graphics, have a 60 FPS mode, and boom, easy money.
If you want to learn more about that whole can of worms, I highly recommend this series by Illusory Wall. So yeah, even if you are frothing at the mouth for 60 FPS Bloodborne, jonesing for that Bluepoint style remake, it should absolutely not stop you from playing the brilliant masterpiece that exists right now at 30 FPS.
Well, I kind of agree. I still think it's worth playing through even if you have to deal with the low frame rate, but there's no harm in waiting for a 60 FPS version of the game. At the end of the day,
the PC community's been waiting for years and they finally did it for themselves. So I don't think it's that much of a big wait anymore. Ew, Young Ye's in my feed. Fucking filthy creature. But in the case of everything else, you know, if the community really wants something, they'll go do it themselves. They did it with Bloodborne, they did it with a lot of other games, and they'll do it most certainly here. If people really want the new Demon's Souls on PC, they'll just do it themselves. That's why Sony should stop beating around the bush and actually just, you know, go out of their way and make it more accessible for people to play the game and give the benefits that people want, and they'll make millions for it. But for some reason, just still refuse to do it. Oh, fuck, I'm thirsty. Onyx Legacy. I don't know if this is true, but I heard in some instances of higher frames makes the game worse because it affects button response. Oh yeah, I mean input delay can be a bit of an issue depending on what game you're playing. For example, in Stalker 2, you have around 60 FPS but around 50 to 70 milliseconds of input delay because of how the game processes. So it's really down to a mixture of multiple issues when it comes down to optimization of a game that leads to that input delay. For example, apparently in Marvel Rivals, if you have DLSS and some of the image sharpening and all that stuff on, it actually leads to a worse FPS. And I've had that experience myself. So turn off the super resolution if you're going to play Marvel Rivals if you're on PC, or whatever your equivalent is for AMD and whatever other platforms you're playing on. But I don't believe you can turn that off on console. If you can, do it, because you'll get a better FPS from what I've heard. And in my experience, it gave me one. So it's kind of a bit of a funky thing. Anyway, we've got another Reforged clip to look at, so... Where is it? Here it is. It's this one. There we go. Because what's this one about? Oh yeah, he's making fun of his viewers. So yeah, we want to Reforge, do a funny moment, and make fun of members.
You know what I mean? You have such a hate boner for this game, you ain't seen nothing yet. Don't worry, you wouldn't finish it because it's way harder in the end.
Fuck. I clicked the wrong button to pause the video. Sorry. But yeah, I gotta give credit to this funny koala man. He's like next to Astro. He's fucking peak. He gets all the stuff out. He's also providing clips to us, content creators, to make and laugh at these individuals. So, here we go, champ.
Factually about the game means I hate it. That's your summary of what I said about how it's a 30 FPS game. They use frame gen to double the frames, which is terrible. Digital Foundry called it an abuse of the technology. They laughed at how they implemented frame gen. It leads to dropped inputs. It leads
Well, I'm gonna say here, because I know what game he's on about. He's on about Indiana Jones, and he looks like he was having a lot of fun, regardless of the FPS. He was really enjoying it. But in the case of people doing frame gen and saying that this and that is an abomination, Sony has done the same thing with their pisser technology. They've gone out of the way to make a game lower FPS but upscale it and give you the experience of frame generation. So this isn't just an issue of Microsoft doing it for Indiana Jones. Sony does it all the time.
Leads to input delay and latency. And that's me hating the game. Speaking factually about how it performs, having standards and saying, I'm not going to play a game that's going to run that poorly.
You have standards? You were the guy that fucking defended 30 FPS at one point. You defended you would rather play a game, a PlayStation exclusive, at 30 FPS because of said excuse of everyone else using it gives me more fidelity and feels more like a cinematic experience. Bullshit. I don't believe you for a second, Reforge. Don't sit there and complain about FPS when we can easily find a clip of you. I feel like I still have it somewhere. If I can find it, I'll show it. Give me a second. See if I can find it. I've got it somewhere. On a Discord somewhere, I think. Where is it? If not, if I put this in the video, I'll show it there as well. But this isn't... Oh no, this is related to Indiana Jones, so I'll put it in there. If I can find that, then I'll fucking do it here and make fun of this retard for it. I can't find it off the top of my head, so...
I'm just not. You think that's me hating on the game. And you think I wouldn't last because it gets harder.
Fuck, I clicked the wrong button again, bro. Yes, it is you, in a sense, hating on the game. Voice crack, sorry. Because you've gone out of your way previously to be like, oh, hell yeah, this game is fun. And then turn around when your chat disagrees with you because, oh no, you've got them into this mindset of, hey, look, let's dick around and say we hate the game because that's what your chat expects from you. And then you turn around and say, oh yeah, I quite enjoy this game. Then you turn around and say, oh no, I don't really like this game no more. It seems kind of fucking mid. You've done it many times before. Give me a second, I just gotta fix up something. Okay. It's the first installment of The Pisser. Give it time. Well, I would, but I don't believe using something like upscaling in DLSS is a good excuse to try and get 30 to 60 FPS, or even higher, right? I think it's a genuinely piss-poor excuse. If you can't hit that natively, I don't think there's much of a point in using that to get yourself there, because the input delay will always be bad, because even I turn off DLSS. And I've got, what is it, their third version because of a 40 series card. I would prefer not to use it, because it just makes the experience, like, you get more FPS, fake FPS, but the latency will always be the biggest issue. And it's really annoying. Like, if you're playing stuff that requires high input, like Bloodborne FPS games, it's not necessary. I usually turn that shit off straight away. So regardless if you like it or not, it's not very good for those who want to have more of a competitive edge or less input delay.
Really? I've beat Sekiro, Elden Ring, and Dark Souls 3, and I only ever quit a game if I feel like I'm not enjoying it. I don't quit a game because I'm not good enough. Like, I didn't quit Lies of P because I wasn't good enough. I wasn't having fun. I didn't like the swamp monster. I didn't want to deal with the mechanics of the fight. I've got better things to do. I've got a backlog of games I can play.
You've got better things to do, like going on stream, getting your wife on if you hit a certain member goal. Damn, that's fucking crazy, bro. I mean, I've never played Lies of P. I didn't really care for it. I don't really like most of these Souls rip-off games, besides a very select few, like Remnant. Remnant's fucking peak. That's like the only one I really like. And Mortal Shell. Mortal Shell's really good.
Sneaky Wolf with a $5 super chat tip. So Xbox popped up when Sega died, and now it seems like Valve will step up after Xbox dies. Maybe. Lono was hyping it up as a possible game of the year.
Did you hear that Valve is making a console now? I don't know why they would fucking do that. I think that shit's fucking weird, bro. Like, why would you make a console? There's no need for it. The consoles are dying. Don't do that, Valve. Bad. You got your Steam Deck. That shit's peaked. Just stick with that. I'm begging you, bro. Don't do it. Remnant's the only Souls game you can play? Yeah, I feel like it does a really good job of being a really good Souls-like with a couple other features. I'm a big fan of the original one, because there's 3 Remnant games, if you didn't know. You had, what was it, Chosen, I think it was called? I forgot what it was. But it's a much different game. It's where you die, your character gets older, and I forgot how the game mechanics work. It's the very first version of that game franchise, and then you have Remnant from the Ashes. That is the first one that everyone's played, if you've played Remnant. Then you have Remnant 2, which is more like an RPG with Souls mechanics and Soul stuff in it. But it's very much like the first one, so game's pretty peak with its procedural generation as well. You know, all the cool stuff. But I think that is the only game that really handles a Souls-like game at its full potential. But next to Mortal Shell. But Mortal Shell's more like a schizo version of fucking Souls.
Yeah, I have a video on my channel saying it was a Game of the Year contender. What they did with the technology irritates me. I'm not talking about the game.
If it irritates you, why defend other companies and platforms doing 30 FPS, like in the case of PlayStation? Like, yeah, you can criticize this shit, don't get me wrong. I think it's pretty disgusting that Indiana Jones is at 30 FPS and has really shitty, maybe not shitty optimization. I heard the game is pretty well. I'm never going to play the game myself, so I don't really care. But in the case of that, it should be a standard of 60 FPS, and I would appreciate if developers would stop focusing on that fidelity, because it means nothing to us. It just makes a shittier experience for everyone. Like, why the fuck should Avowed be at 30 FPS? Why should maybe even Fable? But I don't know. I don't think they've really said anything about Fable's performance yet, so I wouldn't really know where that is. But why should Spider-Man 2 either be at that 30 on fidelity mode when it should be on average 60? Why should Final Fantasy 16 not have constant performance issues and just sit at a stable 60? I actually don't know where the game is now, so maybe it is actually performing pretty well. I haven't followed that game in quite some time since it's come out.
When I talk about Black Myth Wukong, but you play...
Yeah, the Steam Machine Part 2, is that what it's called? Huh. I'm learning something new here. I personally didn't really know that they already made one, but I guess we're learning something new. Pretty cool, I guess, but I wouldn't really want them making it because there's no point within a dying market. Unless it's serving a dual purpose, maybe it could work.
Played Elden Ring? Yeah, I played and beat Elden Ring. The performance...
And that's crazy that you played and beat Elden Ring when... I've got those clips saved to my PC. You were bitching and complaining the entire time about Elden Ring being an absolute trash game. I'm surprised you were able to beat it, bruh. Good job on you, Reforge. Big boy. You're better than Quantum TV, at least.
Issues in Elden Ring weren't even remotely close. Sekiro's laughable easy on PS5. Played on PS4. Are you drunk? What are you saying? It was 30 FPS as well. Homie, are you okay? Did someone walk into your house and hit you over the head, and now you've just decided to start chatting? You're not making any sense.
Yes.
Sekiro is laughable easy on the PS5?
I think it's just a somewhat easy game in general if you know what you're doing. I wouldn't say it's the hardest Souls game, but it is the most, maybe combat-wise, enjoyable. It's very... I don't know where I put it. I'm playing Indiana Jones right now. It runs pretty well on my Xbox in 60 FPS. Also, Indiana Jones is really good. This is coming from someone that isn't a huge Indiana Jones fan. Well, that's good to know, Cobra. I mean, you're always in everyone else's chat, so maybe your word has a lot more weight than others. And, you know, your Twitter's pretty peak, bro. I'm surprised, like, is it being... Because I think what Reforge said, it was being upscaled to 60 FPS. Is it actually, like, smooth? Do you have much latency? I'm kind of curious now, since you've played it. I want to hear a little bit of this amazing insight for it. Can you give us this inside scoop? Because I've heard myself, right, that the game it's like an actual polished game, which is kind of rare for Xbox. I've often criticized Xbox for not being able to release actual oh, bro, fucking hell, bro, I'm dying. Polish product, which is very annoying. And in the case of them always releasing buggy ones as well. And it's good to see that they finally have a studio that's able to release a functioning game that that is actually willing to just be an enjoyable product for what it was, so. Waiting on Indiana Jones for PS5 Pro. It will be a superior to the Xbox version. I mean, okay. Yeah, I mean, actually, will it? I mean, in the PS5 Pro, it probably will. Maybe only by a couple bits of resolution. But yeah, okay. You can have it if you want, bro. If that's what you're looking forward to, enjoy it. I hope you get to enjoy it just like you will get to enjoy Stalker. The game, yeah. Is this the game, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, that's going to outsell Tomb Raider games? I don't think it will outsell Tomb Raider games. The most recent trilogy of Tomb Raider games was pretty successful, from what I remember, so I don't think it will. It's pretty smooth so far. Well, that's good. I won't... If Game Pass was available on PC, or at least on Steam, I mean, I would give it a try. But I don't really have too much of an interest in playing it. So I'll have to take your word for it.
What? It's considered one of the more challenging games in the Soulsborne... It's a FromSoft game. It's not really a Souls game. It's a FromSoft game. Within the FromSoft catalog, it's considered the hardest, if not close to the hardest.
I'm sorry, after playing 1.0 Dark Souls 1, I don't know about you, champ. I wouldn't consider Sekiro the most hardest Souls game. Maybe it's a bit of a hot take for me. Maybe people don't agree with it, but I didn't really find that... Well, it was hard at the beginning, but once you actually got the mechanics down and what you had to do and how you had to play the game, it wasn't that scary of a game. It wasn't that hard. For what it was provided, it wasn't the scariest. I feel like... What would be the hardest Souls game? If it wasn't bullshit like Dark Souls 2, or in the case of 1.0 Dark Souls 1, I wouldn't really know which one's harder. Huh. I'll say Dark Souls 2 because that game's got a lot of bullshit that fucks you over. I'm really shocked after seeing the PC spec. Really thought the port was going to be shit, but I was wrong. I was wrong as well. I genuinely stopped giving a shit about Indiana Jones after I saw that. I was like, what, you need a 4080 to get like, what is it, 60 FPS or like a 4090? I don't remember what it was. But you need a top tier PC just to get like 60 FPS at 4K, which is very disappointing. And then what was it after? I mean, I feel like the low specs were okay. It wasn't the worst thing. Oh no, that was Kingdom Come, sorry. I was looking at something else. What the fuck is my Twitter trending? Why is Epstein trending, bro? Hell yeah, Epstein's trending. But in the case of a lot of these games that are coming out, it really sucks to see that stuff like 40 series cards are already getting outpaced. But in the case of Kingdom Come, I think it's fine. They did a much better optimization. And they did delay it by an extra year, so hopefully the optimization's good enough. But in the case of Indiana, I don't know. I would like it to be a little bit more not that jarring of a giant jump, because only a year ago we weren't getting games that really required 40 series cards, and then it turns around now and it's like, oh, you need 40 series cards now to get the best performance, or at least reasonable performance on PC. It's like, oh, okay. Guess I'll go fuck myself. But for the most part, from what I've heard, the game is well optimized, and you can play it on some lower-end systems relatively easy with, I believe, a 60 to 40 FPS. It just depends on your settings and resolution, of course.
I think there's maybe harder bosses in the DLC of Dark Souls 3 or maybe Dark Souls 2. But what are you even saying? You're not making any sense. I won't play Bloodborne because it's 30 FPS.
You won't play Bloodborne because it's 30... But... What the fuck? You were the guy that sat there and defended 30 FPS for a game because it was more cinematic. I will find that clip. I will download this video and I will make sure that I show it off. I will. I will scroll through my Twitter to find the clip if I can't find it on Discord. I remember you defending... I think I have it on a video somewhere relatively recently within a year. I will go find that later. There was a point where you defended that 30 FPS. I will make fun of you for doing it. Nobody fucking wants 30 FPS, bro. But don't sit there, you're not gonna play Bloodborne because it's 30 FPS. You fucking sat there and defended another Sony game for it, bro.
I don't think you understand. I honestly think you're a little bit out of your depth. I don't think you understand what I'm saying when I'm criticizing. Did you play it on PS4? No! What? Black Myth Wukong came out in 2024. We are 4 years into a generation that promised 60 FPS. When Destiny 2 came out on PC, I switched to mainly playing video games on PC. Fortnite, any game that came out, I played on PC. Do you want to know why? I wanted 60 FPS.
It's fucking crazy that he switched to PC, and then you turn around and switch the console. That doesn't really give you that consistent 60 FPS. Oh boy. Ooh, oh my, oh golly. Like, why not just stay on PC? You have everything you need on PC, but why? Why? Why would you do that to yourself? Because if you just stick to that PC, regardless of your performance of your hardware, you can constantly make it sit at a native 60 to 120 FPS. Why? Why go back to a console? I can't go back to a console. I can't plug my Xbox in and enjoy it. The only time that I ever plug it back in is to play Destiny 1. But the moment that I'm not playing that game, I'm jumping back on PC to play the games because they've always got a higher FPS. Or a better looking experience. I'm not a big man for graphics, but when it comes to just playing a lot of these old games, I would rather play them on PC.
A $5 super chat from Andy Ackerman. Don't hate on his hater comment about you being a hater. Ben with 41 months. I'm spying on you guys from Canada. By the way, Tim Horton sucks. And that is 482. We need 18 more members.
Bro, it's crazy that he gets nearly fucking 500 members a week. How much money is that? I think, what was it? Didn't he say? Which was it in this clip? Like 600 members at X5 a week, blah, blah, blah. Wait a minute. He's telling me that he gets that many members. That's crazy. So he gets around $3,000 US for, so yeah, 12. That's crazy, bro, that people give him money. Like, why the fuck doesn't... I mean, no, I don't think Alex would get that much money.
You know what I mean? You have such a hate boner for...
I'm gonna quickly search that Raveforge clip. Give me a second, guys. I'll go find it on Twitter. I'll just quickly have a look on my phone and send myself the link once I find it. Reforge. Gaming. Gaming, bro. 30 FPS. A PS5 Pro will end 30 FPS. Where's the video? I know there's a video somewhere. I just saw it. Where did it go? Gotham Knights 30 FPS. No, it's all of the Reforge videos. Where's all the criticism content of it? I can't find it. Fuck. Well, what else are we going to cover? Actually, I'll search on Twitter. Give me a second. I just had a quick look through YouTube. I was meant to actually search on Twitter. Reforge. 30 FPS. Hellblade 2 only runs at 30 FPS dynamic resolution. Redfall is launching at 30 FPS. It's all his videos. I swear there's a clip somewhere uploaded of it, bro.
30 FPS.
30 FPS is more cinematic. No, it isn't. Objectively and technically superior. Good boy, you gotta like. Okay, so it looks like he's been relatively consistent. Where the fuck was that take that I had in the video of him defending it for a certain game? I guess I can't find it. I'll have to search for my own video content later to go find it, guys, and then I can add it into the video. If you haven't seen my Skydance Behemoth comment, just in case. Oh no, I saw it. Well, I didn't actually read it though, because I kind of just like glossed over it. My bad, sorry. I actually play as Skydance Behemoth in my MetaQuest 3. My impressions are a really good game, although the Quest version did crash on me. Sorry for your loss. You're late? Why are you late, bro? You're meant to be here giving me your love, and yet you show up late? I'm gonna have to kill myself now. Well, you pretty much showed up a bit late. There's not really much content that I need to cover anymore. I didn't really have that much content for this stream. I am thinking making the streams, well, not really once every week, but build it up over like every 2 weeks. Who's speeding outside, bro? I'm gonna fucking put out some spike traps, put out some punji boards for their car. But yeah, I might actually consider doing these streams once every 2 weeks so I can just get a bunch of content together and have like a good 4 to 5 hour stream, so it's actually worthwhile. Because I kind of come onto these streams not really having much to do besides looking at like 3 or 4 clips. But we could get a preview of the Underpants video. I have it saved, so give me a second to pull it up. Here, look at my gay thunder for me. Where is it? Where is it? Here it is.
What's up, boys? So there is a 5-second moment.
Finally, we get to do a quick preview of a video that we're going to be putting into a video tomorrow. So let me just turn that. Let me get rid of that. Astro, you stay there. Stream, you stay there. Stream, you stay there. Okay, we'll quickly switch over now. So we have this, I just downloaded the video for later. Okay. Also, you spent $100 at EB Games for Mad Monday. I thought, I didn't actually, when I was scrolling down, I thought you said you spent $100 on Mad Max, and I'm like, bro, peak game. I've been playing Mad Max recently. Shit was actually pretty cute. I need to actually play more of it.
From the gameplay reveal of Indiana Jones from about 10 months ago, and this tells us exactly what the game is. Let's watch it.
Now we have the opportunity to tell a new Indiana Jones story for a modern gaming audience.
Ew. Ew.
Yeah, it's done. Yeah, dude, it's completely cooked. If this guy is working,
it's completely cooked, and then he he releases a comment. Let me see if I can find the comment. Give me a second. I'll grab the comment now. I have it posted somewhere. I have it saved. Let me go grab it. Here it is. Here's his comment under that video after posting about it. No, this video was made before. So obviously, I haven't played it. If people are saying it's based and not full of homo nonsense, I might give woke Microsoft $5 so I can play it on Game Pass and I'll review it. That shit's peak. Little man's a little bit crazy and made a video a little bit too fast. Because once I saw Ratanga's tweet about him may possibly be deleting this, I immediately went to the video, screenshotted everything I need, and downloaded the video. Indiana Jones is good. I'm playing it now. Well, how's the performance? We were mainly talking about performance and apparently how it's native 30 FPS but upscaled to 60. Is that true? Can you tell the difference? How is it that every time I come into these streams, you're talking about gaming, Salt? Jimmy Neutron, perhaps? Feels like Andy's in the closet, bro. He really is. Like, it's hard to believe, right, that this guy used to make Xbox fanboy, well, PlayStation fanboy so, and he used to absolutely suck ass at it because he would not actually offer any content that would be reasonable. And then he turns around, deletes that channel. I've still got screenshots of him using my thumbnail, so I'll put that in the video tomorrow as well. And then he goes on and makes a channel like this. And it's like, damn, that's fucking crazy. Because he's pretty much just a giant grifter. No one should take anything that people like Andy seriously. He doesn't actually have any argument to stand on or any points that are actually valid or worthwhile. And it's really fucking stupid that people take him seriously. People even defend him, and it's fucking crazy.
Working on it.
Have the opportunity.
If this guy is working on it and with his little gay homo shirt and he's saying that he has the opportunity to reinterpret or reinvent Indiana Jones for a modern audience, we're done.
Well, he did make it for a modern audience, and it was good from what I've heard. I mean, am I going to play it? Absolutely not. I don't want to play it. I'm going to stop saying I've said that a little too many times this time. But in the case of it, what he said about a modern audience from, what we think he's going to say, right? It didn't really affect the game. It's just, it's Indiana Jones. It's not really pushing any messaging from what I've heard. It's not doing anything. It's not going out of its way to tell you how to think. It's just an Indiana Jones game. That's it. It's like the Lego games, but even more peak, apparently. Series X, it's actually 60 FPS, not frame gen, but RT is really lower than low. I think PC-wise, it's a mix of low-medium settings. I'll still say it's licensed game, it's peak. Go to id Tech 5, hell yeah. In my comparison of both Raven 2024 and Metro Awakening, the MetaQuest being UE5 games, although they don't look as good as the PC versions, at least they were more optimized on the Quest. I personally will never get my hands on a VR headset right now. I have no need for it, especially like a MetaQuest or anything. I don't really need it. I personally have no interest in VR games. They don't really offer me anything. Maybe the Metro game, maybe, or maybe Half-Life Alyx, because that shit looks kind of funny. But it's good to see that id Software was able to release an actual good, functioning game, and wasn't like the rest of Microsoft games of just releasing absolute fucking piss. So, I guess I have to give them credit, and in some sense, apologize to this developer for shitting on them and immediately writing off the game. It's good to know that this individual is allowed to be themselves, but didn't have overall, how would I put it, just an overall control of the games like people did with Veilguard.
Dude, we're absolutely done here. So, what I want to remind y'all of is that
a Chad died today, finally.
And the dude is a Chad. The dude is what modern people would call a chauvinist, but he's awesome. And I want to show y'all a clip from The Last Crusade that reminds us of what we've lost here. This is the real Indiana Jones. This will always be the real Indiana Jones. And watch how he interacts with this woman.
You didn't trust me.
Wait a minute, what's that doing in his feed? I saw that. What's that doing here? Why is he watching Australian news? He's not Australian. He's not. Stay away. Of course it's fucking Sky News doing the Lord's work by posting shit like this.
This will always be the real Indiana Jones. And watch how he interacts with this woman.
You didn't trust me.
I didn't know you. At least I let you tag along.
Oh, yes. Give them a flower and they'll follow you anywhere.
Knock it off. You're not mad.
No?
No. You like the way I do things.
It's lucky I don't do things the same way. You'd still be standing at the Venice Pier.
What do you think is going on here? Since I met you, I've nearly
hell yeah, this stream's gonna get copyright struck because his dumbass brought a whole ass clip.
This would never be in a modern movie. This is how you have to treat women.
What the fuck did he just say, bro? Give me a second. I'll read that in a second. This is how you have to treat women. Interesting.
Women sometimes. Now, I'm never advocating violence against a woman, of course. I have a lovely wife who I love. I have a daughter who I love. But
this is how you're supposed to treat women, bro. You gotta tell them what to do. What do you mean? So you can't just turn around and say, this is how you have to treat women sometimes. Bro, your wife's gonna beat your ass when she hears that. She'll start treating you like women in video games. Bro, he doesn't fucking realize what he's saying. Anyway, we'll read what you said. I hope Microsoft keeps using id Tech and IW engines like that Doom COD engine are goated. I haven't played COD in some time, so I wouldn't know what that is, but I did hear that it's actually 120 FPS on console, which is very good for an FPS game. And I appreciate them doing that on console, because it gives console guys a chance to really experience what you can get away with high FPS. Like, I honestly was not expecting Indiana Jones to come out and actually be a good game. I honestly read it off as everything. Like, it had a lot of issues, especially with that guy saying it's made for a modern audience. It really turns you off of the game, and especially now when developers are going out doing that shit all the time, and games like Veilguard are releasing, it really leaves a sour taste in your mouth for games that you just don't even want to play. And they really wonder why we won't purchase these games, but it's good to see that this guy at least had his hand in his development when he was talking about modern audience, and just said, we're gonna make a game that's good at least. So I guess we owe this guy an apology. I know Fratanga did. And then he proceeded to shit-talk Grums, and now everyone's pissed off at Fratanga for shit-talking Grums, which is honestly funny. Like, bro, people need to stop using Grums as a source of information. I'm getting real fucking sick and tired of that fucking creature.
Times when a woman is being a brat like this woman is, you have to tell her what's up.
You could just tell her to stop like a normal function. You know, you don't need to get into a fist fight. This isn't For Honor, bro. You're not popping revenge and, you know, pulling off the most devious anti-gank. Like, bro. It's like a pregnant woman, bro. You're getting a 2v1. Shit would be funny as fuck. Broke the baby and you were getting into that fight for a lifetime. Like, bro, she's ganking, bro. I'm playing Shigoki. Stop that. Stop that, bro. I'm about to get revenge. Don't make me anti-gank, you shitter. You know, there's my peak comedy for the day. You know, most of you don't play For Honor, so it doesn't make much sense. It's only relatable to certain people. You know, a certain class of sophisticated men and women.
Have to remind her who Daddy is, and that is exactly.
Oh, sorry, I forgot to read your comment as well. I feel you would have to be negative in terms of IQ to try and make Indiana Jones as woke. Except, do well in sales. Oh, sorry. I didn't actually read that last part correctly. And except, it will... Oh, fuck me, bro. I can't read today. I'm having a good time. I'm not even drinking. And except... it to do well in sales. I mean, in terms of frame time, it wouldn't work. Fair enough. I'm sorry I didn't read your comment a little bit earlier. A bit of my mistake. You never want him to say daddy again. Daddy. Daddy. Oh, daddy. But yeah, I feel like for what this game is, it's genuinely good for what it is. If you're looking for an Indiana Jones game, you really got what you wanted with it. There's no, I would say, at least from what I've seen, I haven't seen much gameplay of it, of course. But it really seems like this is a game that people will be playing years to get that Indiana Jones experience, and I'm pretty happy for those people. If you got that game and you get to play a classic character, because I've seen all the Indiana Jones movies, I haven't watched them in years though, so I don't remember much of the plots of them. And I don't remember what goes on with most of them. I just remember, haha, beat up Nazis, that's cool. And in the case of a lot of the stuff, it really seems like what you're going to get is an experience that is worthwhile to those. Is it going to be wildly successful? I don't know. I'll need to actually check Steam charts and see where people are going on it, but I'm sure it's got over at least a couple tens of thousands of people playing it, I hope. I know when it's early access, it only had around like 5,000 to 6,000 people, which is kind of small for a game like it.
What Indiana Jones is doing right here, and that is why
I have so many people doing construction work outside.
He's too alpha for modern gaming audiences, and they can't handle.
He's too alpha. The game, bro. This is why you don't make a video straight away shitting on a game saying it's gonna be bad. You don't do what this retard does. It comes out and it's actually a relatively good game, or a good game. I don't know where to place it. I need to hear more opinions and actually watch gameplay of it, or maybe even play it myself. But in the case of this, a lot of people seem to like it because it's an Indiana Jones game. You got your alpha male that you desired, and yet you turn around and say, oh, it's not an alpha male game. It's not made for modern audiences because you're a fucking mouth breather.
Oh, this Indiana Jones on screen. So they're going to create some kind of pussy bitch Indiana Jones in their gay game that they're working on. But watch this.
Into fish bait. We're caught in the middle of something sinister here. My guess is Dad found out more than he was looking for. And until I'm sure, I'm going to continue to do things the way I think they should be done.
How dare you kiss me?
Wow, oh my god.
Leave me alone. I don't like fast women.
And I hate.
This guy's a fucking retard and I love it, bro. Where was that again? Women love alpha males? Where did that go, bro? That's fucking crazy. Let me find it.
This into fish bait.
It's a bit too fast
Sure.
around here.
I'm going to continue to do things the way I think they should be done.
Sometime. Okay, so it's a little bit up here.
How dare you kiss me?
Bro, actually writ this shit out like he fucking knows what's up.
Leave me alone. I don't.
Women love an alpha. Oh no. Bro watches fucking Andrew Tate. It's like, bro, I gotta beat the shit out of my wife, bro. I gotta go live in my mansion in Romania and eat pizza. Get ratted out by the Romanian government. Fuck me, bro. This shit's funny as fuck. This is great. Women love an alpha. We're not a fucking... when are we going to tell these absolute mouth breathers that the concept of an alpha doesn't really exist?
Don't like fast women.
And I
Oh my
hate
god.
arrogant men.
Bro, give me that ear fucking munchies.
See, dude, he's such an alpha, man. Harrison Ford as Indiana Jones, that film
He's such an alpha that even the game portrays him as this, I would expect.
comes from 1989. Women love that stuff, dude. Women love when men have that kind of energy.
Women love that kind of energy, bro. Your wife must be in for a good time then, bro. Your wife must be having a great time, bro, when you fucking jump on her and start fucking munching on her ankles like a fucking skinwalker. Give me some of that, bro.
And the in the dialysis of destiny, as it's often called.
Oh, is he still doing this fucking content form, bro? Oh. He still just puts everything onto one page and scrolls down to it. He doesn't have, like, you know... Oh, he's not changed from his Xbox videos, has he?
He's an old man, and they've turned him into a sad old man and a sad old cuck. We lost this. You know, in the movies, this scene in the movies with all the girls in his class are obsessed with him. Because he's just an attractive man that all the women want. If you remember this German chick who's actually an Irish actress, she's using sex to get what she wants. That is how life is. That is how many women are, and you don't see that in modern movies anymore. But
well, that's because sex sells, you fucking mouth breather. If you want to get something quick, you just do sex. That's how it works. It's been done like that for years. Even in fucking ancient times, they still did that shit. You don't need to tell us how this works.
we've all experienced it, and that is real life. But modern cuck movies and media can't handle the truth. They can't handle life as it is. If you saw Dial of Destiny, which came out in 2023, and I'll just sum it up for y'all real quick. He's outstaged and he's upstaged by a smarter, faster, cooler female.
Bro, this video is going to be a fucking field day to work on tomorrow. I think I'm going to dedicate like a decent amount to the PlayStation fanboys. Andy won't stop glazing the movies of indie. Damn right he won't. I've actually heard that the 2023 one was kind of ass, so I don't blame him for shitting on it, but I don't think he's being genuine with it.
It's a humiliation ritual, is really what it is for Indiana. And it was a complete failure of a movie. But look how hard they're trying to get you nostalgic. They're like, oh man, maybe if Starfield did this, maybe if we throw a nostalgic poster at them, they'll get nostalgic for the old movies. But he's not the star, man. Go ahead and put her in there. This isn't an Indiana Jones movie. It's a lame girl boss movie. This photo right here says it all. She is the main character. He's not the main character anymore. Because like everything that we love, like everything that we have, women, feminist, horrible, short haircutted, butch women have to get involved in everything we love.
Yeah, fuck women. Women are bad, bro. We can't have a world with women in it. Oh, women, am I right, bro? Oh, women. Oh, it's always women that are the problem. Oh, wait until Thingy gets home and I have to tell her that she's the problem. Then she's gonna beat the shit out of me. And then with the beat the shit, like, bro, we're gonna be playing For Honor in real life. It's gonna be great. She's like, she'll be, you know, fuck, I'm built like Centurion. I'll just go at her with my Gladius and my fucking Pugio and all that. That'd be fucking big as shit. Then she'll be built like a Rochi. Then she'd fucking, you know, use her first feet, drain on me, stand and beat the shit out of me. Bro, I've got this entire fight scene worked out. None of you understand. It's perfect.
Ruin it somehow, don't they? So let's get into talking about the video game, because I wanted to set that stage, because what is happening with the Indiana Jones franchise is exactly the same thing that's happening with the Indiana Jones video game that's about to come out. Is they've girl bossed it, they've modernized it, they've made it for this gay freaking not.
Bro, this, from what it sounds like, this video really aged poorly. This is why you don't make a video without doing research, and I don't blame him for saying that the game is woke, right? We didn't know if the game was going to be ass or not when we first saw that shit, and they were talking about modern audiences. I think most of us, with a reasonable sense, wrote this game off as just another game that would have pandered. But now it came out, from what I've heard, and from what everyone said, it's actually a genuinely good game, and it is an Indiana Jones game. So if it's really something that you want to play, you're going to get that Indiana Jones experience. So I don't blame a lot of people for coming to the consensus that, oh, this game's probably going to be woke and failed. That's probably why it didn't actually do that well when it came to pre-orders, from what it looks like. And now that everyone's come out and the game's being relatively positive towards both critics, players, and everyone else that looks at it, I'm sure it will get its fair shag of money. I would hope, because if it's that good of a game, I would like to see it succeed.
Non-existent homo.
Just like Astrobot, because Astrobot's fucking peak. I can't wait to put my fucking teeth on that game and go down on little Astrobot. Give that little bastard what's for.
No audience. Nobody wants gay Indiana Jones. Nobody wants girl boss Indiana Jones, and they keep freaking throwing.
Bro, I don't know about you. I'd want gay Indiana Jones, bro. Imagine him sword fighting people with his cock. Bro, that would be cool. It'd be like fucking Star Wars, Double of Fates. He'd be fighting Adolf Hitler with that shit. That would be cool, bro. That's the type of shit you'd see in like a gay porno.
It to us. So John Trent here said Xbox is now blocking reviews of Indiana Jones and the Great Circle until game goes into advanced access. That's not a good sign. That is not.
Yeah, that really is a it's not a good sign. I hate it how a lot of these studios are doing that, like Stalker 2, Indie, and a couple other games that have done it recently. I think the only game that won't do that is Kingdom Come 2, as the developers are very outspoken and listening to their community. And they seem to be very confident in their product, so I don't feel like they would want to shut us down like that. But I really do hate how studios, are going out there and making reviews less than a couple hours before the launch or on the same day as the launch. I find it really annoying that people do that. It does not mean anything to me. It's just why? It really does not inspire faith in a product that you're going to show off. It really makes it look worse than it needs to be. And then it turns around to be actually a pretty good product from what it sounds like. And it's like, why would you do that? Why hide it until a day or a couple hours before launch? Like, what do you do from benefiting that?
Not a good sign. That means that they know that they have a stinker here. Somebody was pointing out that there's been almost no marketing for this game. There's been no marketing for this game because it's probably going to be a stinker. On the Steam chart.
I mean, I thought, hey, look, Factorio Space Age. I need to play Factorio. Anyone in chat want to play Factorio? That would be fun as fuck to get fucking absolutely hammered around Christmas and playing Factorio on Christmas. Would any of you want to do that? I wouldn't mind doing a stream around Christmas or Christmas Eve or something. I don't really have much going on because I don't really do much family shit anymore. I'm mainly working. Go to gym, stare at bees, get naked and sleep on the floor because I'm too lazy to hop in the bed that's like 2 meters away from me. And then my cat violates me by just sleeping on top of me and making it very warm because he's a fucking fat, fluffy cat. I'm gonna fucking eat the little bastard if he does it again. But anyway, would any of you be interested in playing a game like that? Either Factorio, a horror game, or something? I do want to actually, you know, do stuff with my community, or what I would call a community. Regardless if you're a hater or a fan or not, I think it'll still be funny. Or we could all jump into an audio call and see how long we can get the stream taken down.
It's number... There's only 43,000 pre-orders for it, and it's number 179 on the charts. Dude, nobody cares about this game, man.
That's still... that's a... for what it is, I think that's a pretty good number for pre-orders, but then again, a lot of people weren't really inspired by it. It didn't really... it was very... How would you put it? Not very... A lot of people didn't have confidence for it. I don't know what type of game Factorio is. It's an autism simulator, so pretty much you build a factory while killing all the fucking hippies by causing pollution, and you have to get into space. And I believe that's where the Space Age DLC starts. So pretty much you're building like this giant factory. And it's like it's a hyper autistic game. You have to spend like hours optimizing your factory, changing certain parts, getting research, building it up, building robots. You know, it's a really in-depth game. But it's like one run will probably take a couple hours, like 20, 30 hours. It's not a quick game.
And it's because it has that stench. It has the stench of the woke on it. I really think you shouldn't be allowed to deactivate your dislike button. I'm not allowed to do that on any of my videos. The dislike and the downvote button was really helpful.
Wait a minute. When Andy did the Axeman debate, he did go out of his way and no, he took down the video, not deactivated likes. I forgot what he did. No, I know he did one of those, but I know he copyright struck Axeman for doing that, and then he reversed it.
Hopeful on Assassin's Creed Shadows, so that we could see how much people hated that game.
Yeah, I hate that game.
But companies now are just straight up disabling their dislike button because they know it's going to get hate, they know it's going to get shat on, and they can't handle the truth. And companies are so desperate to hide the truth from people. But guys, it gets even worse.
Even worse.
Torvenius is the creative director on the game.
Hell yeah.
This is him right here. And maybe you don't care about this stuff at all. Maybe you're not religious.
Ow, my hand. Fuck.
But
yeah, he must. I think he. Sorry, I think he did disable the comments. I'm not really sure because I never watched the debate that much. I didn't really care for it. Cause we all knew fucking Andy was gonna get stomped out by Axeman. Axeman isn't a complete fucking mouth breather like people believe he is. Like, you know, I do think he's a bit of an idiot for not calling out certain things within gaming. But when it comes to the case of what he was going to say, then we all knew he was gonna fucking stomp out Andy. Andy doesn't really have much of a debating skill set. I mean, neither do I, but at least I have the common decency to think beforehand before I say something for the most part.
Dude worships Satan. If you Google his name, you will see his extensive e-commerce.
Bro, wait until you see the guy that created For Honor. He is a literal goth man. He is covered in, like, goth shit. He doesn't, like, put on makeup and all that, but he's covered in, like, black shit and all that. Like, he looks peak. He's, like, the most edgiest man I've ever seen. Like, if he saw that guy that made my favorite game... Well, actually, no, Destiny 1. What is my favorite game? It's a mix between For Honor and Destiny 1. Who's speeding outside, bro? Oh, it's construction trucks, bro. They got a bunch of dirt in them. Give me some of that, bro. I want some of the earthworms in that dirt. This is the worst PowerPoint you've ever seen? Damn right it is. I mean, I wouldn't really think it's a PowerPoint, because I don't think it's actually set up as one. I haven't used PowerPoint in years, though. Last time I used that was in school for presentations. Oh, yeah. I do hate his video structure. I kind of wish he just did something similar to me, where he went out of his way and just did frames. That was it. Like, he switched one frame to that one, that one, that one, and he showed all the evidence. But, like, what's the issue of him having this quote-unquote satanic shit? Like, who really cares? The guy that created For Honor did that, and he created one of the most peak games.
Store where he sells all kinds of satanic products.
Hell yeah.
This is
cheap
one
products
of his
for
pentagram
fucking
altar
expensive
discs
stuff.
that he sells as a ritual item. This is his logo, which is an upside down cross.
Why does that look like it's something from For Honor? I swear. Can I go back a little bit? 10 seconds, we'll go back.
This is one of his pentagram altar discs that he sells as a ritual item.
And he thought about what he was gonna say beforehand and had all the traps that Actman saw a mile away. Yeah. Like, I don't agree with some of the stuff Axeman did, but he did the right thing by stomping out this absolute retard. I kind of wish he would stomp out Grumps as well, because those Axeman, Synthetic Man, and all those other people that don't really have much of an actual point to say, I don't believe they should really go out there and just say that shit without being criticized. I think at worst, the only content creator that I would say that really goes out there and preaches a lot of that stuff with a lot of it would be Smash JT. But at least he has the common decency of saying what he needs to say and doesn't, add his own shitty personal beliefs like Synthetic Man and Andy Pants. Not for the most part, at least. So I don't watch much of Smash's videos anymore. I just kind of got bored of watching them. But in the case of that, there's maybe other content creators.
This is his logo, which is an up.
Hey, that is the thing from For Honor. I think not the fucking upside down cross, but I know this part here. That's a stock image.
Upside down cross. Here he's selling
something
something
into an
called
emblem in For Honor.
Goetia Demon Seals. Oh, cool.
Hell yeah.
Real cool stuff, dude. Just selling some demon seals. The LGBT crew.
Be gay, hail Satan. What the fuck? Bro, it seems very, very weird of Satan to be gay. Right, we gotta show this guy who fucking created For Honor. He would love this, and he would be crazy for him. He would be fucking huge for him. We gotta show him the Play Hard documentary where they documented all of For Honor's development. Watching this guy put on like 72 different rings just to be the most edgiest man in the studio was crazy.
Q crowd is satanic. Their father is Satan. They hate Jesus. They hate Christ.
Okay, chat, give me a second. Let me go pull up the guy right now. I'll show you what I'm on about, so you get an idea of the type of guy. Hopefully I can find an actual picture of him where he's wearing all of his shit. Because I don't think the documentary's up on Netflix anymore, and I definitely can't show you that without getting in trouble. Let me just go find his name on Twitter. I'm following him somewhere. He doesn't post any personal pictures on his Twitter. Jason Vandenberg. Oh, yes. So, where is he? He looks fucking schizo in half of these pictures. The only picture that I can really find of him is this one, but it doesn't show all of his, the stuff that he will wear. He looks very normal in this, but if you actually watch his documentaries and what he did while playing For Honor and showing its development, he is the guy. That's him. He's the person that created it, but the actual thing of him, let's see if I can actually find an actual picture. Here we go. Here's one of them. He's not wearing much. I think he takes it off for most promotional stuff, but when he's at home, he puts on all this shit. He looks relatively normal in these pictures. Kinda sad I couldn't find the original one. Where is it? I know there was a picture of him somewhere where he has a bunch of fucking makeup on and all that. He looks fucking kooky as shit. But there you go. He's the ideal goth man. Look at him. I'd let him bang me. That's my boyfriend right there. I'll take him on a date and give him a good time even though he's already married. Anyway, back onto that funny gooner. I like the Axeman's video. He does the need to work on calling out the BS in gaming. I do agree. I think my only issue with Axeman is that he doesn't really mention anything about the politics of gaming and how developers are putting more and more politics into video games. Now, I'm perfectly fine with him not mentioning that, right? But I feel like when he covers a lot of these topics, he kind of tries to avoid it, which is kind of annoying. And I feel like that he could really go a long way if he just addressed the issue and whether or not he agreed or disagreed with it. Because he used to call out that stuff. And I know recently he's been doing it a little bit more, I think. But I think after he lost his monetization to Quantum TV, he's became a lot more careful with what he says. So he doesn't go out and say stupid shit all the time. So maybe that's why he doesn't do it. There could be a myriad of reasons. Maybe his opinions have changed, but for what he does when it comes to general gaming content, he does a really good job. I like a lot of his older videos.
They hate goodness and they hate truth. And guys, Satan is gay as hell.
Satan is
He
gay.
is a gay loser, but here's the thing. Jesus defeated him. Read the Bible. Satan is a loser, and he's gay.
He didn't defeat Satan. I don't remember them ever duking it out in the Bible. I'm not religious. I've never read the Bible myself, but I'm sure that would be a very big plot point to bring up that a lot of religious people I've spoken to would tell me about. And I've met I'm not a big fan of those religious nut jobs that constantly talk about religion, but even they would have brought this up to me when I was laughing at them, or telling me how science is really cool and God created it. Well, joke's on you. Man was created in God's image, and God was created in man's image. Fuck you in particular. And science has been around longer than religion. Yeah. How the fuck do you think cavemen move around? They use the stars. Because stars are cool. Anyway, little schizo tangent. But regardless, I don't remember this being a plot point that they mentioned. And I don't think this dumbass has ever read a Bible. Neither have I, so I could be completely wrong.
And Jesus crushed his head in the garden. And finally, one day, Jesus is going to throw him and all of his followers into hell. So, yeah, dude.
Bro, Jesus gave him a blowjob of a lifetime, bro. Giving fucking that Gluck 9000. Bro, lucky Satan.
Satan's a little punk. We've talked about how the video game is gonna follow the pattern of the dialysis of destiny. Look, I mean, all you have to see is the short hair, the no breasts, the complete unattractiveness of this woman here. And I forgot the name of this character, but they're doing the same exact thing with the female character in the game. I guarantee you she saves Indiana Jones in the end. I guarantee you she's smarter than Indiana Jones. She's better than Indiana Jones because...
Oh boy. I was raised Catholic, and I don't remember Jesus ever whooping Satan's ass. Good to know that Andy's speaking out of it. He's really speaking out of his own ass on this one. That's kind of funny.
It's not a masculine movie anymore because feminists run everything now, and every woman wants...
I can't believe we've gotten to the point that we see women that are slightly not as good looking as we want them to look, and then boom, it's immediately woke. Like, yeah, we can draw the connections, right? And we can be like, oh, this game isn't going to be good, but I can't see this picture... Sorry, having a fucking stroke again. I haven't seen this person close up, so, I mean, they look okay from here, you know. I wouldn't get into a fist fight with them if I needed to defend my life, but, you know, I gotta take Andy Van's word for it. You know, you gotta fight women and be the alpha male, bro. You gotta fucking chase them on all fours like the goddamn Nazi zombie we are. You know, we're crawlers, bro.
Wants to be a man now, and every man wants to be a woman now. And, oh, it's all about me, and it's all about my feelings. So these were a couple screenshots that I grabbed from the trailer. Whoever this main chick is, I keep forgetting her name, but she's got her bull dyke, ugly feminist haircut here.
It ain't a walk in the park.
Okay, then. Let's see if you can keep up.
What do you mean?
Ooh, whoa. The woman is teaching Indiana Jones a few things because she's the...
Wasn't that the exact... Wait a minute. If I went back to that movie clip, didn't that lady also say it, but she was a hot lady? So what's the difference? I don't get it. Am I missing something? Hey, look, he uses the same video download. Oh, no, he's using a different version. Oh, no, he's using the one that I am. Use 6, you nerd. That one's much better. It allows you to download in much higher resolutions. Anyway, what's the difference between that clip and the one you previously showed at the beginning of the stream? A lot of positive things. Yeah, even I've heard a lot of positive things about it. A lot of people saying it's really good. released recently, right? I don't know which way you'd want to word it, but I've heard I'll need to actually play it for myself. I might go maybe plug in my Series X and actually try to play it for a little bit. I'll see how it is there. Maybe that will give me a reason to use my console again. Maybe I'll spend like the fucking 3 shekels out of my fucking dirty little mouth to go play it. But in the case of this, like I said, what's the problem with that? And why is this a problem? But then you look at the original one, is it because that woman's hot? Like, I'm confused. Like, yeah.
She's the real alpha. She's the real Chad. Guys, this is exactly what's wrong with everyone.
It also should be mentioned that that other lady also was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this better than you. And then he turns around, oh, like, what? Is the part that's missing here that he isn't fucking the shit out of her? That's crazy.
Every marriage, every relationship around these days. Not mine, of course. I love my wife, and my wife knows that I, as the man, I'm the head of the household.
Suddenly you get the shit kicked out of by your wife. She sounds like she's been winning at that For Honor grind set for years now. Bro's losing the fist fight. I know what group is downplaying it. Yeah, there are a lot of PlayStation guys that are trying to shit on the game. I mean, yeah, some of the criticism could be valid. I know Reforge is being a bit of a mouth breather for the game because he was really enjoying it, and I think we watched it a bit earlier in stream. But he was really, from what... no, I didn't show the clip. There was a clip of him, like, really having a good time while playing Indiana Jones, and his chat told him to fucking hate on the game. It's not you to like an Xbox game. So we started shitting on it a little bit. But I've never seen Reforge have so much fun beating the absolute shit out of Nazis. That shit was kind of funny to watch him, because he was having a good time. Like, I really do like... I think the coolest part about Indiana Jones I've seen is, like, the thud of some of the weapons when you hit someone over the head. You can really feel how much that's gotta hurt. Like, hitting someone over the head with a fucking pickaxe is going to lead to the most devious concussion you've ever seen.
But it's this competition, man. It's women trying to be men. They're trying to lead like men, but they can't do it. Women are simply not designed to lead like men do. Did you see that? Did you see how she saved him? He is not... Indiana Jones is not the hero of the story anymore. It's the woman. Yeah.
What's the issue of that? Bro was about to hit that punji board grind, so it's like, oh no, we're gonna let Indy do something. Like, bro, he can't move in that position. Have you ever stood in that position and tried to move while something's moving under you? I've done that at the gym when you sit on like a really shitty mat and you try to do like a certain position to stretch something or get into a certain way to start an exercise. I can assure you, very natural, very human of Indiana Jones to sit there and do nothing. Very authentic character. So I don't really see how that's much of an issue. That's like one little small scene, you know. It's not like Veilguard where like fucking that... who's that fucking they-them chick again? I forgot her name. He's like, oh, I want to be referred to by me pronouns, and I'm gonna do better than you in this one. Because I've got more experience, and who would want to be a woman? Oh. Fuck, that shit was cringe. Ooh, I made myself cringe there. Ooh. Anyway, I'm just gonna move on.
Yeah, he's not the hero anymore. People have confirmed that you play as her for a large portion of the video.
Hey, come back there. I saw that. Where's that iron cross? Look at that. He's got an iron cross. So he's a high-ranking... Bro, imagine the shit. You should steal that. That'd be worth a lot of money. Indy needs that money, bro. He needs those shekels. Steal that iron cross.
As her for a large portion of the video game. She's the hero. She's the smarter one. She's the new Indiana Jones. She's the real Indiana.
I heard what they're saying about GTA might be woke. I don't believe GTA, well, with the recent stuff coming out with about what the developers are saying and all that, I have a lot of concerns about it, but when people were going on about how you were playing as a woman in the next GTA, I absolutely disagreed the game would be woke. Like, because just having a female character that looks slightly not as appealing as you want them to be was kind of just stupid. I thought it was fine. Onyx Legacy, have you seen Oh No It's Alex vs Griffin Gaming? Yes, I think we reacted to the Griffin clip and that was it for one stream. Maybe it was last stream or 2 streams ago. I don't remember. But we reacted to it, but I did watch Alex's stuff. And I've known they've gone a little bit back and forth. I won't lie, this may be a bit of a hot take for you, but I kind of agree with Griffin somewhat. I think some of Alex's opinions were kinda not the best. And I think the excuse of Alex saying that he was trolling was kinda fucking mid, because, you know, if he was a troll, he wouldn't have mentioned anything. He's a bit of a boomer and doesn't know how to do the zoomer troll technique. Very disappointed in the old man. But in the case of that, I'm completely fine with it. I think what's going on is just some stupid stuff. It's pretty funny, though, that Griffin getting a little bit heated over there. Bro doesn't like being called out, but regardless, I still agree with some of the stuff he said. But back onto GTA. I don't know. I did defend. I still have that video up where I defended the like people saying, what is it, like, oh, it's not going to be wiped because there's a chick in it. I believe people are pushing it a little bit too far there. I believe a lot of the stuff is being stupid.
Jones, old guy Indiana Jones is just a husk of his former self. She's the real hero. I just want to point out that it's an absolute mockery, and it's absolute shame of what they've done to my boy Harrison Ford. You know, in Dial of Destiny, he completely got upstaged. He was completely made to look like a fool. You know, they just had to girl boss Indiana Jones. She's the cooler one. She's the smarter one. And Indiana Jones just plays second fiddle to a woman now. You would never see that in The Last Crusade, dude. He's a man. He's the hero.
But that clip that you use of her telling, well, she's saying that she's going to do better than Indiana Jones is the same as the clip that you're showing right here. And that girl did the exact same thing, but it led into a sex scene in the movie. Like, what's the difference? Just one has the sex scene and one's got more of an appealing female. I don't see much of an issue. Like, yeah, if she was like, oh, I'm trans, or oh, I'm this, or I'm that, and I'm better than you in every conceivable way, then yeah, I would have absolutely laughed at her for saying that. But no, she just says, I'm going to do better than you, or I'm going to beat you there, or whatever. Like, who cares? It isn't a big issue. It's not going to fucking sit there and be like the most miserable experience now. It's not going to ruin it like, you know, with Tosh and fucking Dragon Age. You wouldn't never catch me playing that fucking game. You have to fucking pay me $1 gajillion to play that garbage. I don't think Griffin Gaming is a Sony pony because he craps and talks all over Sony first-party games. Yeah, he does. He absolutely shits on a lot of the games. He's just a Final Fantasy. He's just on PS5 for the Final Fantasy. Yeah, probably. I agree with that. He's just too much of a Call of Duty brain rot. Yeah, he has too much Call of Duty brain rot. I agree. I feel like he wants games to be a certain way and doesn't really, like, if I don't get why he plays a lot of these games that he dislikes. Like, if his chat's paying him to do it, I'll just say, you know, I don't want to really do it anymore. Do a DSP. Just say, you gotta pay me to play each hour.
Man,
gotta make it worth my while.
It was a male, masculine story of an alpha named Indiana Jones and the life that he led. And people simply can't handle the potency and the power of this kind of a man. So they hate it. So Thursday, the new Indiana...
So, chat, I want to know, for anyone that's still here that's actually played the game, I want to know, is Indiana Jones much of an alpha male in the game? Is he getting absolutely flexed on by a woman? Let me know. I want to know. Let me know, chat. I want to know right now. What happened? Does he die? Does he get flexed on by a little lady? Is Indy now a woman? Is he trans? Like, what happened? I want to know. Give me all the character lore. I want to know if Andy Pants is onto something. We all know he isn't. I just want to hear what all you say. I want to know for anyone that's actually played it. How far have they made it?
Indiana Jones video game is coming out. I'm going to try to play it, and I'm going to try to review it and give my thoughts on it. But this is just, I wanted to give you all one last peek, kind of my thoughts of what I've been thinking about this game before it comes.
Give me a second, guys. I need to grab a clip. That's very important. You don't know. You just want to buy it. Or I don't know, lol. I didn't want to buy it. Fucking making me angry. Give me a second. I gotta grab something. I just gotta grab a little clip because it's important for later. Once this is finished. Here we go. Back over. There we go. Beautiful.
But thanks for listening. I will talk to y'all later. Bye.
So remember, guys, it's gonna be woke and bad when he plays it, but you know, this clip maintains relevance right here, okay? Remember this. This is very important. Let me go grab some Subway Surfer so you guys can see it, okay? See? He made the video before it came out, and obviously he hasn't played it yet. If people are saying it's base and not full of homo nonsense, I might give woke Microsoft, sorry, $5 so I can play it and review it. I wonder what he's going to say in that review, because I don't think I've ever seen him review a game. So there you go. We have a lot of stuff to talk about now. Now that I've actually watched the video, I didn't really take much notes. I'll actually start taking them now. Give me a second, guys. So I don't remember. I don't want to forget. Give me a second. I'm going to start writing this down. Okay, chat, just had to write all that down. There we go. But there you go. That should be much better. Now that I've written that down, let me just refresh chat to make sure that nothing has changed. Okay. So there we go. That should be the Andy Pan stuff dealt with. Racing Simulator is the best. Lol. But I wanna try Star Citizen with a joystick. I've considered touching stuff like that. I was going to play Elite Dangerous with a HOTAS. That was something that I wanted to try. Dreamcast guy just made a Sony couldn't afford 78, oh, is that 78? Yeah, $78 billion. Hell yeah. Well, we could actually look at the Dreamcast guy stuff now. Let me go grab that. Here, look at my Gay Thunder. We'll look at that, then we'll finish off the stream. I've got a couple of stuff to go through after that.
Oh,
Fuck off, Dreamcast guy, you dog bastard. So, Dreamcast guy admitted he was wrong about Indiana Jones, which was kind of shocking to say the least. And this will also be going in the video. Excuse me, there we go.
I was wrong. I was very, very wrong.
Hell
Indiana
yeah.
Jones and the Great Circle is just a game that when I initially saw it, the first trailers, the gameplay reveals and stuff, I did not think this game looked very special. It didn't look great, in my opinion. But now I've played it. I played it with an open mind. The game is fantastic. It is so good, I'm actually completely blown away. This is definitely in my picks of the year. This is in one of my favorite things I've played in all of 2024, and I want to explain why. I want to really discuss what Indiana Jones and the Great Circle does so exceptionally well.
It's kind of crazy that it's going out there. If you still haven't seen my Dreamcast guide comment, feel free to do so. You know, maybe I don't want to see it, huh? What do you do about that, brother? What if I don't want to see it? What if I don't want to see it? What if I don't want to acknowledge? Sony did want Call of Duty, but they also didn't have enough cash. True. Well, that's because Call of Duty is a money printer, but at the same time, I don't think that they really wanted Call of Duty. They wanted the mobile market. Like, Call of Duty, right? It's kind of like how From Software is with the Katakawa one. they don't want it for Call of Duty or From Software, right? They want it for their other alternative businesses that they have. In the case of Katakawa, they wanted it for the anime and the actual distribution sites for anime and manga. And in the case of Activision Blizzard, they wanted it for, you know, what is it, a Candy Crush, I think it was? As well as the associated mobile market, because that makes billions, cajillions of dollars, and probably makes Microsoft now a shit ton of money and makes, say, gaming platforms. Maybe not the Xbox, but just gaming part of their, well, sorry, let me say that all again. Their gaming division, a lot more profitable. I don't know why I struggled to say that, but there you go.
Why I feel like this is the first real Xbox Series X game this entire generation that just completely melted my brain. And I want to discuss why I think Xbox needs to find a way to capture this magic, because holy heck, this has the juice. But I gotta say, overall, this game is good. It is really, really good. I think it's coming out on the PlayStation 5 coming up in spring, and I'm going to double dip. I bought this on Xbox with my own money. I'm going to buy it on PlayStation 5 with my own money, and I'm probably going to platinum it. It is wild how good these puzzles feel. Just getting to solve that next clue, going through all these different cool holy sites.
I think one thing that I really liked about the Indiana Jones stuff was the actual save feature of the game. I thought that was really cool, how the save was your main menu screen. I find that really cool. That's a very niche feature to add to a lot of these games, but it's just really silly to do that, and I like it.
And stuff like that. Slowly unfurling a mystery like this, with so many quips, with so much craziness. I am...
Have you ever noticed this? I don't think a lot of people actually notice this, but have you noticed that Dreamcast guy just says what the popular opinion is? Like, for example, if a game's popular, he says the exact same talking points. If a game's bad, like Concord, or another game that's buggy and broken, similar to like Halo Infinite or Spider-Man 2, he will often do the exact same thing for those. If people are liking it, disliking it, or saying this and that, it's a return to form or whatever, right? Or it's a return of a certain thing, or makes this old game feel like an old game, you know, like all the positive stuff. He will usually, you know, repeat what other people have said. And it's mainly because he's doing a quick form video, of course, because, you know, Dreamcast guy doesn't really, you know, give that much of an in-depth review for the most part. Fuck, I opened up my GeForce. Fuck off.
I'm super blown away by how good this game is. If you have Game Pass, obviously it's coming on Game Pass. I think it's coming on Game Pass on Tuesday, the 9th. But if you pay for the early access, it's coming out today. So these are just some off-the-cuff thoughts. Yeah.
But there you go. I know I keep on saying it, but Dreamcast guy was good with Xbox a few years ago, but then Microsoft bought ABK, and fucking hell, bro. I really can't wait. Fucking hell. I can't read today. I'm fucking losing it. I'm not even drunk. Allow me to say it again. That what broke Dreamcast guy. He's okay with Microsoft buying Bethesda, but not ABK. Well, a lot of people didn't really understand what was going on with ABK, and a lot of people tried to say it's a monopoly, right? And I know people will probably, oh, this is a bit hypocritical to say Sony is for doing Katakawa. But I do feel like, in the sense of Sony going out there and owning all the distribution sites for anime and manga, even though I may not care for it and may not consume any of that stuff, it's owning all that would give them a monopoly over it and what people can and can't do in them. Bro, this guy's been doing some pipe work for ages. How long do they need to keep going? It's been going for like a good week now. He calls himself Dreamcast guy, but doesn't even talk about the Dreamcast. He should change his name to PlayStation guy. Hell yeah, bro. Nah, then they would know it's a grift going on, because he would occasionally go like, oh, Xbox is better. This and that's better when Xbox is on top and that's not on top. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. You could go both ways. It would be pretty funny if you start doing that. You call him Methcast guy. That would be cool. You could start a podcast called Methcast. That would be absolute peak. Wouldn't you want that? Well, yeah, that would be pretty cool, wouldn't it, chat? You know, going out there making that Methcast podcast. So I guess that's pretty much everything we need to cover for the day. I guess we'll sit here and do a quick little chat over anything else you guys want to chat about. We can have a little discussion about it, then we'll close off the stream. So, because that's pretty much it. The stream wasn't too much that eventful. Didn't really have that many things we need to sit there and watch. I may consider doing these streams less and less often because they don't really have much content to show off in them. So maybe once every 2 weeks or maybe once every couple of weeks we'll do a stream. And that will allow me to gather up a bunch of content and just do like a good 4 to 2 hour stream of just covering all the content. When the rent is due, he will make another Xbox is dead video. Absolutely. I guarantee you, right after this, like a week later, he'll say another video saying Xbox is dead because Indiana Jones didn't do this and that after praising it and sucking it off for a video from what it sounds like. I just realized I gotta do Warframe content again, bro. That's gonna be rough. I don't want to play Warframe again. When did I last play? In November? Oh, it's making me suffer. But look at that, guys. I'm nearly at 1,000 hours on War Thunder. We're getting close. We're getting big numbers soon. Sorry, I gotta read your comment. So yeah, the moment Microsoft... So yeah, the moment that Microsoft buying Activision broke a Dreamcast guy, it would explain why he made all these Xbox is dead videos. I think he only mainly makes them purely because he needs money, and he wants to get easy clicks straight away. Hey look, Aztec is playing it. I mean, a different Aztec to the guy that pops in stream, so... Isn't Warframe pay to win? I mean, not really. I could jump... You guys want to see my Orbiter in Warframe, bro? That shit looks freaky. I've got like a shit ton of platinum in it. I mean, you can actually play Warframe for free. You can earn the premium currency relatively easy. It's just a lot of retards don't know how to play the game. But look at all my console achievements, bro. I've nearly 100%ed Warframe. And oh no, it doesn't actually have all my stuff done yet. My dual daggers. Reach rank. I should have these achievements. Why don't I have them? Because I've mastered up all these weapons. Huh. I need to actually make a video on why Warframe sucks, bro, because I'm getting real sick and tired of the developers teasing off updates about Warframe and proceeding to release some of the most dogshit updates known to man that are so buggy and broken. DE needs to stop being so goddamn ambitious with their updates. It's fucking miserable watching them release dog shit over and over again. And then we're gonna have another Railjack situation. Jump in? Sure, why not? I'll jump in and have a little gander around. I may need to put my password in. I hope that's fine. We'll close that, and then we'll just boot up Warframe quickly. Let me just quickly close my thing quickly, just in case. My personal information may come up. Oh, it's still updating. It's okay. We can switch back. Just in case any personal information may come up. Already play D2. Can't hate yourself to play Warframe. I think the biggest issue with Warframe is that the people that play it try to talk it up like DE's a good company when they are just as bad as Bungie. DE, like, there are so many videos going over the bad conduct that they've had over the years, and people are fucking stupid for believing a lot of the stuff that they've done. Like, they are not a good company. They have banned people for doing some of the most normal shit. You get banned for doing endurance runs. Okay, so it's, okay, I don't need to do anything. Here you go, I can show you stuff. Just gotta insert my password.
Orders has been
Hell yeah, give me that. Look at my absolute gooner orbiter, bro. This shit's absolutely filled with absolute garbage, and I love it. This is just so much grinding gone to waste. All of this filth. All of this amazing garbage that I will never do anything with. I want to have you guys know that this used to crash people's games on console, and now that they've got the Series X out and all that, you can't really do much else anymore because everyone has all their stuff. Oh please, you thought Destiny was bad. The DCS world puts Bungie to shame. Over 152 bits of DLC. Jesus Christ, putting the fucking Sims to shame, bro. Not even the Sims cost that much. Just to get a full experience. Yeah, isn't that fun? Do you guys like the naming scheme of my orbiter? We got Biden's Victims and Joe Biden's Dungeon, and then KYS. Hell yeah.
Error, not a number. Did the operator enjoy
And then we've got all of my customization, all my builds here, my absolute god-given right, known as the compressor. I have spent way too much time playing Warframe. I really have. I may not show it in Mastery rank, of course, but in the case of everything else, I've wasted just way too much time. I have played this game a little too much, and I've got so many weapons that are ready to just go and Mastery rank 30 to hit. Like, I've got all of these pieces of equipment that I need to level up just to get Mastery rank 30, and then I can finally just say, I'm uninstalling the game. Oh, I'm out of mutagen samples. Okay, I guess I'll go fuck myself. But there you go. Most base ship. Hell yeah, it is. Wait until you see what's in my operator room, bro. There's a weird gelatinous mass of fucking creatures doing a weird symbol. Because me and my friends were going around doing silly stuff. Like, look at this shit, bro. This shit's peak. This is what I play Warframe for, bro. Some of them were silliest customization known to man. Like, hell yeah, this is what I play for, bro. Like, don't let DE see all this stuff. They'll fucking kill themselves. See what I mean, bro? I got some weird shit in my ship. Don't ever let Bungie see that. They'll get fucking angry. Like, all this garbage around my orbiter. It's like, I figured how much platinum this is all worth, because I know the floofs aren't worth much, but they add up a lot of good space and help crash people's games. And then you move around to having, all the animated stuff like I have here. And that usually crashes people's games. Like, this ship is schizo as fuck, and I love it. And yet, people get mad at me when they see all the garbage in my ship, wondering why I'm not selling it for platinum. Well, joke's on you, I don't need platinum. I'm a cajillionaire. But yeah, here's all the characters that I have now. So we got Ember Prime, you know, the absolute god-given right. Look at that, that's amazing. Nice ass, by the way. We got certain characters. We got an Ivara build that I haven't finished. But mainly I play Wisp, because I'm a little gooner. Then we got all my silly weapons, prime ones that I haven't finished. Oh yeah, the Eversong. I haven't used that yet. We got, don't look at the name of that weapon, trust me. It's very cool, I can assure you. DE would be very upset with that name. We have the Proboscis, that's a funny weapon. The Phantasma, Rubikyo, Tigeris, Soma, Scourge. The Kuvar Ogre. Like, we got all the goofy weapons that a man could dream for, both before and after their nerfs. Damn, that's crazy damage. Can I see the rest of the stats on that? But yeah, I don't really play Warframe much anymore because the game's kinda ass. And the developers don't really do anything that's actually worthwhile to make interesting content. Like, this is a pretty rare occasion for me to log on to the game. Go fight? Fine, bro. You guys are fucking needy today. You want me to go with some people? Oh, I'm stuck. Oh, I'm stuck. No. Yucky.
Sector is mine.
Shut up, Lich. Kill yourself. Here you go. We'll do a quick match of a sortie. Give you an idea. This fat bastard better ready up or I'll kill myself. Now, what build do I want to do? That's a good question. I forgot. Do I have all my buffs on?
The area is crawling with infested. If it's not a Tenno, eradicate it.
Isn't this fun, guys? Like, isn't this what you paid for to see a Warframe stream, bro? Like, this shit's peak.
I'm still detecting a lot of infestation activity. Let's clean it up.
What was that? Well, this game is free, so they are milking the console player base. Well, Warframe's also been a PC, because Warframe was a PC game before it ever came to console. I'm not even setting up my boost correctly. I should probably do that. How do you do it again? Okay, there we go. And then we switch back, and then we do a proper boost. Why is my screen so goddamn big? I didn't realize that. There we go, proper boost. Where's this other guy at? He's on MR9. Get your ass over here, you fucking shitter. Get in here. Fight people. Why is my UI so goddamn big, bro? I need to fix that. You know what? Here. Hydralisk, protect me.
There's a heavy unit approaching.
I'll fix my UI now. UI option. Display interface. HUD sensitivity. HUD scale. That's still way too big. Yeah, it's too great. The bitrate can't keep up, bro. HUD scale. There we go, much more reasonable to see stuff now.
My Warframe is strong.
Oh, you fat bastard.
Juggernaut nearby. It will only attack when it senses high
Hell
concentrations
yeah.
of infested blood.
Fuck that Juggernaut. He's a shitter, bro.
Move and strike. We have to win this.
Yeah, come over here and fight me, you dog.
Juggernaut, I think you made it angry. Good work.
I hope I did. I paid to make this bad boy angry. Oh my god, Big Mate's finally made it. Oh, I went the wrong way. Boo-hoo.
Stay focused. There's a heavy unit approaching.
Right, for a fucking Horizon level, this shit's peak. Damn right, I'm just killing them. This is my little goofy goober build. For Wisp, it's a pure strength build, meaning that it's all DPS for abilities. Well, in the case, it's meant to enhance my ability since I'm a support character. Hello, dodge out.
The enemy is broken. Well done. Now get to extraction.
Let me through, please. Let me through, I beg of you. Oh, I keep getting stuck on chicks. I'm not jumping correctly. Oh, I went the wrong way. Oh, fucking hate the tile set. Here, protect me. There you go. There's a quick match of Warframe. Better get your fucking ass in here, mate.
There's a heavy unit approaching. Mission
There you go. There's my devious little speedrun of Warframe. The most low IQ game you've ever seen. Wait a minute, I've got 600 platinum? Where did I get 600 platinum from? Oh, I didn't use all my platinum, didn't I? Oh no, it's because I had trades available. That's what I was doing. There, fuck this guy. Leave, leave, leave. Give me the option to leave. There you go, you got your little Warframe Gooner session. It's peak, isn't it? But there you go, you got your little Warframe fun. So, I think we're going to leave it here, because I got stuff to finish up for the day. I had a pretty good stream, I enjoyed being here for the day. I'm gonna go lie down and cry as my body slowly hurts and falls asleep. So I hope the rest of you have a great day. And you enjoy the rest of your day. That's pretty much it. I'll see you all, and I'll go start working on the video somewhat a bit today. You never know. Maybe I'll start it tomorrow so I can get all my shit written down. But yeah, that's pretty